because they have water. It, comes out of a hose or a spout or a spigot or whatever. But am I allowed to be positive today? Because I thought I got a lot of the negativity out. And as Jake rightly mentioned, in our crossover brought to you by Love Heating and Air, there are so many reasons to really want to like Jalen Brunson. Seriously. Until he sprawls all over the floor without any contact whatsoever. Because he, as I mentioned, is the master foul baiter. He is. He does that as well, and I think Jake mentioned Gilgeous Alexander as well, which is he also does that. That's his forte. Those guys, it just drives you nuts, doesn't it? And that drove me nuts last night a little bit. But you got to tip the cap on what was an incredible three-point make there at the end against really good defense by Andrew Nembhard. And then the Pacers lose to the Knicks, and that is never, ever a good thing. I guess you can look at it this way. The Pacers are going through this gap season, and I was unfortunate I had to hear this because I had a lot of people say, hey, was that an entertaining loss? Only nerds view things as entertaining losses. That was just a stinking loss, and it sucked. Sorry, it did. Was it entertaining? I'm sure it was. But there's nothing entertaining ultimately about a loss unless you're a big dork. And don't be a big dork. That's what that was last night. Brunson is a great player, and he seems like a really good dude. But, man, there's a lot of stuff that he does and just falling down with not even contact, but most of the time minimal contact that will definitely drive you nuts. So I'm glad I got all that negativity out of the way. Because we were talking about here, live, by the way, at Whiskey Business on Pendleton Pike on a Bud Light Blue Friday. I have Monday Night Football tickets to give away. I saw Chris Hammer just roll in here with the football toss. I think he had to go all the way to Speedway and get the football toss and then roll it hot up Pendleton Pike on the northeast side and get it back here with our friends from Zinc and Bud Light. So the football toss is here. Let me tell you, if you're looking for a good time, I've got your good time. I've got your good time on the radio, on the stream, on the app, the AAA Membership Lounge via YouTube Live. I've got your good time right here. And I know this to be true. If there is one thing that we all need, it is a good time. And I got it for you. They have great food here at Whiskey Business on Pendleton Pike. Ice cold Bud Light is good to go. And maybe, just maybe, you can win tickets for the Monday Nighter. And I know what you're saying because I felt, what do they say now, the vibe? I like to say the pulse because I don't want to be like involved with the whole vibe feeling of folks out there. So I say pulse. My pulse of the fan base is that you're not completely down with the program from Monday night. You're not adequately enough excited because of the 4-game losing skid, the wrong direction, the wrong time of year right now, the problematic offense. While you were thrilled with the storyline of Phillip Rivers, what Phillip Rivers didn't bring to the table, unfortunately, is what ultimately could haunt the Colts coming up on Monday night against the Niners. And now I know this to be true. After last night and whatever the hell that was in overtime, I know it was really entertaining, but it it had some weirdness there, right? But, hey, I'm just going to pick up this football in the end zone. Hey, great. The backwards pass stuff. And then the explanation that you have on Prime last night was pretty funny, too. But I guess to Colts fans, what is magnified in that situation is now that if you're Briscoe, you've got all designs on that one seed. It's not like they're going to come in and be soft about it anyway, but you have all the motivation in the world to get in and handle your business on Monday night here. Much like Jalen Brunson in the game last night, the NFL schedule for this week number 16 is kind of sprawled out all over everything. So you got a Thursday night, you got a couple coming up tomorrow, late afternoon, evening, and then on Sunday, then on Monday night. So the NFL schedule this weekend, it's really sprawled out all over everything. like Jalen Brunson. But no, I'm here to tell you that even in the midst of all the negativity and the losing streak and, whether or not you think the Colts are making the right decision regarding Phillip Rivers or Riley Leonard, or you want to see Anthony Richardson Sr., or you kind of disconnect between what the coach is saying and what he is saying. I get what Anthony Richardson Sr. said yesterday because, you've got that, obviously, that whole tapping out thing, and you want to say, hey, I'm ready to go, and I'm ready to go right now. Guys at that level, really guys at our level, oftentimes you'll tell everybody that you're much better than you are just because you don't want there to be any issues with a decision and you want to get out there and you want to play. You're a player. That's a competitor. So that yesterday didn't surprise me that much. But you go into the final 3 weeks of the season, and if you're the Colts, and I hate this because, obviously the dynamic of the season has changed dramatically over the course. But if I were to tell you that everything is in the Colts' hands in the final 3 games of the season, and we would have done that back before the start of the season. By the way, if we would have had any call back before the start of the season, all of what we would have come up with would have been incredibly inaccurate when you think about it. When I mentioned, having a finger on the pulse of everything, we've had a finger on the pulse, but it has gone absolutely haywire for the good, then the mediocre, and now the bad. It's like weird. It's like we can't get out of the way of the bad around here. But if I were to ask you at the start of the season how good you would feel about the fact this team has its own opportunity in its hands in the final 3, and 2 of the final 3 at home, you probably feel good about it. Alas, that's why we play the games, and you've seen what's gone on recently, and you probably don't feel so good about it. It always seems like something is working against them. So only 3 games remain, and as we're going into, obviously, last night, Week 16, and the rest of the weekend, 5 teams in the AFC with at least 10 wins. After Sunday with the Texans, now 6 teams have 10 wins. So for the Colts, the best finish they could get is 11. The margin for error moving forward is incredibly slim. But they do have the opportunity. And the challenge here, all 3 teams left on the schedule, and we knew this was going to be difficult, all have double-digit winning seasons so far in this campaign, which is problematic and leads us to Phillip Rivers out of retirement last week. First time on the NFL field to play since 2020. 18 of 27, 120, 1 TD, and 1 interception. That was the final play for the Colts of the game. That was a Hail Mary situation. Shane Steichen mentioned earlier this week that he is going to be the starter coming up. Liked what he saw against the Seahawks. Alas, the problem is being able to go down the field. And had mentioned this week that he feels positive that they'll be able to do that, be able to get down the field over the course of this Monday night. And I'm with you thinking that that is going to be incredibly problematic. I thought so anyway, and now you have an even more motivated San Fran team coming in here. That is going to be tough. Now, this Niners team, by the way, the Colts host coming up on Monday night. First Monday night game for the Colts since 2022. And the recent history on Monday night has not been good. And I know that Matt Taylor talked about this with the morning dudes this morning. They've lost their last 5 Monday night football games, which I think would beg to the reason as to why I think it's okay to try to be a little bit positive, because let's face it, everything, and I mean everything right now, if you're seeing me right now, I'm talking with my hands, so that means it's really important. AAA Membership Lounge via YouTube Live. When I start talking with my hands, it's very important. So I'm talking with my hands. This is all leading down a path that we have witnessed here most recently is a great deal of failure. But you still have that opportunity within your grasp. And most certainly that is where we are right now with this team going into Monday night. And I guess you can kind of sit back and relax and watch what takes place, certainly over the course of the weekend. But it just seems like every time there's a game that you have a little bit of interest in that involves a dynamic that could have impact on the Colts, that it goes the other direction. So I understand why you have plenty of reasons as to why maybe you don't have the amount of interest in it as you normally might. But again, you go back to the start of the season, and if I were to tell you this, you'd probably be down with it. But recent history prevails in this, and what you know right now certainly is the reason why a lot of you are a little bit more detached given the circumstances than you normally would be. Mentioned last night in overtime, the Seahawks 38-37 over the Rams. That was a thriller, a come-from-behind win by the Seahawks, which kind of sets the stage for the Niners now to track down that one seed in the NFC. I also mentioned, too, you have two games coming up tomorrow, Eagles and Commanders at 5. That is on Fox. The other Fox game, the Packers and the Bears. That's 9-4 and 10-4. And can the Bears shake loose of what has been an albatross around their neck? And that is basically any game against the Packers in recent memory. Monday night, 8:15, Niners and the Colts, 10-4 San Fran, and 8-6 the Colts. 8:15. We start in the Bullseye eventgroup.com Colts VIP tailgate presented by Hayes and Sons Restoration coming up on Monday. We'll do that at 3 o'clock, and then I'll do a little walk-up conversation, leads me to Touchdown Town for that matchup on Monday night. We'll be doing that with my friends Casey Valier, Bill Brooks, Joe Wrights, and the gang from Touchdown Town coming up on Monday. So that's the way things stack up. Coming up, not only last night, but tomorrow and this weekend as well. The other thing that we're going to concentrate in on is the college football playoff. Do you have a rooting interest, or is it anybody for you? And what I mean by that is you get Alabama, Oklahoma coming up later on tonight. Do you have one team over the other that you would like to see advance to the Rose Bowl and take on IU that awaits them coming up on New Year's Day? 10-3 Bama, 10-2 Oklahoma, 8 o'clock later on tonight. That is in Norman, a first-round college football playoff game, and certainly one that Hoosier fans are going to eyeball. I would also ask you this. We were kind of bouncing this around here at Whiskey Business on Pendleton Pike a little bit earlier. So is this the type of matchup to where is it like what we view and how we view the wild card round in the NFL? Does that give the winner a better opportunity because they have a game, they have play, and they have positivity under their belt before you advance to take on IU? Alabama, Oklahoma. Who would you rather have coming up later on tonight? If you're an IU fan, we shall talk about that too. Myrtle Beach Bowl earlier today saw Western Michigan big-time 41-6 winner over Kennesaw State. 4:16 to go in the first. The Union Home Mortgage Gasparilla Bowl is going on with NC State a 7-0 advantage over Memphis. So bowl play is officially underway. And then, of course, you've got more college football playoff action. That is coming up tomorrow at noon. Miami, Texas A&M, that 10-7 game from College Station, Texas, coming up tomorrow. Tulane, Ole Miss, the 11-6 matchup. Tulane, the Green Wave, 11-2. The Rebels of Ole Miss, 11-1, but all that transpired with their head coaching situation when Lane Kiffin, we know that to be true. That obviously coming up tomorrow. Oxford, Mississippi at 3:30. So you got more college football playoff games. James Madison, Oregon, 7:30 tomorrow night, 12-1 and 11-1 right there. More college football playoff action for you as we get going and officially get going. But tonight the eyeball is going to be on what takes place in Norman, Oklahoma for sure. All right. Voice of the Hoosiers, Don Fischer. Hey, jump on here really quick. Kurt, we did not have an opportunity to talk about this. So is Don coming on at the 5 o'clock hour?
Yes.
All right. Because I just got the Don Fischer and me at our table later on tonight invite. I knew I'd probably get that. So we'll talk about that with Don coming up a little bit later on. I want to make sure you can tell me if I'm inaccurate about this. I want to make sure that we're on the same page here. Kurt Jales is back in for James, who was out on PTO, what we used to call vacation time. Is paid time off now. PTO is what they say. But Kurt is in. So we got Bob Lovell coming up at the bottom of the hour. We'll talk college football with Bob, high school basketball, and more. Joel A. Erickson of the Star. Latest on the Colts. We'll get the latest on DeForest Buckner and the weekend moving forward to that Monday nighter, and then Mike Wells and Don Fischer. Am I right? Of all of our
correct,
guests,
and I'm going to play the correct
show?
Songs for Wells.
What are you going to do, by the way, too? You got anything in mind?
I'm thinking Boys to Men or Casey and JoJo.
You could probably do a Casey and JoJo All My Life right there.
Beautiful
You could
song.
probably queuing up on that bad boy if you want to. Yeah, I think that'd be good. That's well done. All right, so yeah, we're loaded and good to go over the course of this afternoon. I mentioned, too, Bud Light Blue Friday has us at Whiskey Business. We are in Lawrence on Pendleton Pike. You guys need to join us to the football toss. And listen, if Chris Hammer had to drive all the way to Speedway to get this, you guys got to come out and throw. Because ultimately you could end up in Vegas with this, just so you know. Football toss, and our friends from Zinc are here. It is a Bud Light Blue Friday. We have Monday night football tickets available for you. So we are good to go. And a lot to talk about over the course of the afternoon. AAA Membership Lounge via YouTube Live. If you guys want to jump on board, 239-1070 is that number. The text line is wide open as well at 317-239-1070. Hey, a shout out, my friend Andrew Herrick, who comes out to a lot of shows. So I'm pumping a little gas earlier today. My local Kroger down in Center Grove, and Daniel said, hey, JMV, I've been out to your show before. And I said, Daniel, man, you need to come out and join us tonight. Now, alas, this may be a little bit too far away for Daniel, but at some point, Daniel, it's good to see you. Shout out to you. And one of these days, you have to make it out with your good friend Andrew to one of these live shows, because these events are fun as hell. We did do our Larceny Bourbon Locks and Luna Azul Tequila shots yesterday, which is absolutely outstanding with Tommy S. Downtown at Coach's Tavern. More to come, and I'm going to try to remain as positive as possible today. Jeff writes this, and this is Jeff with a G. JMV, if you don't want to be negative, I'll be negative. It's Groundhog Day. Every single year, the same thing. I will call into question that. I think the Groundhog Day part of it is the failure part of it. Like, it's not the same stuff that happens every year. It's different negativity. It's like a different blank show every year. That's where I think we would be different on that. It's the same result or lack thereof, positive results. But it's different stuff that happens. We're pulling quarterbacks, out of retirement, snatching defeat from the jaws of victory. This is, by the way, Jeff with a G. The Colts are 100% going to lose our last 3 games, and the only thing that makes it worse than having a pick in the 20s is not having a pick at all. That is Jeff. Jeff is bringing the negativity for me right here. Listen, I'm not carrying anybody's water. I'm just kind of wondering what's going on here as opposed to what we're going to see coming up on Monday night. It is weird to be in this position and then to think that you may have less hope about circumstances than you would if things were just absolutely done for the Colts right now, because that's what you believe. JMV, I've struggled to stream your broadcast all week if it's not dead air or it's short segments. So tell me this, Kurt. Got a listener suggesting that maybe the stream is not. Is it working right now? Is everybody on board with the stream? Kurt, do we know this to be true?
It's on. We are battling some internet issues, but it is on.
Let me tell you this. This is what I know by my years of understanding right here. That if you had that stream in front of you, if you hit play again and reset it, it should bring you to my golden tones. It should. And if it doesn't, you can tell me about it, and we'll try to help fix it. And again, our apologies. That's what happens when you go and you transition like this from one place to the other, because you got to snuff out a lot of what is going on. A lot of the FUBAR, and we've been doing that over the course of the week. I'll be honest with you, I'm just happy I'm on the air with you right now. So obviously 93.5 and 107.5, the Fan, is always complete. HD radio feed is always complete. But if you have an issue with the stream, or the app for that matter, hit play again and reset it, and they tell me that will work for you. Thank you guys for keeping me updated. All right, we've got the text line. Good to go, 317-239-1070. Your thoughts coming up for this weekend, who you want to see if you're an IU football fan, Alabama or Oklahoma. The weekend in general, leading you up to Monday night with the Colts and Frisco. I should ask you this. If it was with the negativity that I just read here on the text line, if they were to lose out beyond any reason, does everybody got to go? Because I know we've been all over the map with that particular opinion as well. We saving gigs with wins here down the stretch. Does anybody out there believe that even though they still are within reach, that they can get this done? 239-1070 is that number. Email address is jmv at 1075thefan.com. Hey, by the way, you can watch the AAA Membership Lounge. Become a AAA member today. Use their app. And you can see if you need them. They're on the way in real time for you. What a great gift-giving idea, my friends Matt and AAA today. Become a AAA member. That's the AAA Membership Lounge via YouTube Live. Everybody's telling me now, Kurt, the stream is working better. I'm going to tell you, I may not know much, but if it says reset and hit the play button, reset and hit the play button, and thank me later. Stream the app, AAA Membership Lounge via YouTube Live. Live at Whiskey Business. We're on the northeast side. We're in Lawrence, and we're a part of a Bud Light Blue Friday with Monday Night Football tickets and your chance to win in this football toss. Maybe some bullseye passes as well coming up. Hey, don't go anywhere. 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan. Back with you next.
Hey there, Jake Query for Surfside. Look for the can with the sunset stripes. This time of year in particular, when you're needing sunshine, no problem. Sunshine in the can is Surfside. I'm talking about iced tea and vodka, lemonade and vodka. New flavors coming for the new year. But for now, the raspberry tea, the green tea, and the lemonade itself with that little splash of vodka is so awesome. And with no carbonation, oh so smooth, so easy to drink, and just 100 calories and 2 grams of sugar. Surfside, look for it wherever you buy your favorite adult beverage, and please be 21 responsibly.
This Christmas, get a bonus AI Essentials course when you enroll in any My Computer Career IT program by the end of the year. That's a $3,900 value. Attend classes online or on campus. Enjoy lifetime job placement support and IT certifications in high demand. Go to mycomputercareer.edu today and take the free career evaluation. That's mycomputercareer.edu, an elite CompTIA certification partner. Conditions apply to AI offer, and financial aid is available to those who qualify, including the GI Bill.
Hey, Johnny, for AAA, I mentioned this, the AAA Membership Lounge via YouTube Live. My friend Matt wants me to remind you that there's no greater gift of support on the open road, especially this time of year, than that of AAA. And AAA is making it easier than ever for you right now, too, because AAA has a mobile app. Download that today. Become a AAA member. And with your service request, you can track the responder in real time, so know when they're going to get there to you, thanks to the innovations and our friends with the support of you on the open road of AAA. So we're always watching the weather closely, just like AAA. You should too. But if you're thinking about that incredible gift-giving idea, AAA.com today. Download that mobile app, and even for yourself or somebody special in your life, give them the open road support that AAA provides. That's AAA.com, or download the mobile app today.
Witness a race like no other in Driven to Save Lives, a documentary that's more than just a story. It's a life-saving movement. Fueled by the legacy of racing champion Brian Clausen, whose heart symbol on his driver's license became a beacon of hope. Driven to Save Lives explores the powerful impact of organ and tissue donation. Driven to Save Lives, streaming now for free on Tubi or on Apple TV, Amazon Prime, and Google Play.
Hey, John, for LD Smith Plumbing, I've mentioned this before. So we had that massive melt yesterday, and then we had that refreeze. You know how that compromises any possible clogged drains around your home or your foundation? I mean, that can blank everything up in a moment's notice. That's why I'm always telling you that you need to make sure that all of your drains, and I mean every last one of them, are clog-free. And you can do that with the best in plumbing. Lance and his local team at LD Smith Plumbing, 317-927-7186. And also, ask them about their water softener systems that they have. Great deals on water softeners right now with LD Smith Plumbing. That number one more time, the best in plumbing, 317-927-7186. Lance and his local team online. That's ldsmithplumbing.com.
Getting more as a MyLowe's Pro Rewards member is easier than ever with the Lowe's app. Download it today and earn 500 points the first time you log in. Plus, your digital wallet helps you scan, save, earn, and access what you need to manage it all in one place. Download the Lowe's app and take advantage of your Pro benefits today. Lowe's, we help, you save. Valid 12/125 through 1/7/26. Offer valid for first login per organization only. Loyalty program subject to terms and conditions. Additional restrictions apply. Visit Lowe's.com/terms for more details. Subject to change.
Marcus Morris here with Family Heating and Air. As we're reaching colder weather, you may find yourself in need of furnace service. At Family, we specialize in solutions to extend your furnace life. Call the Fix-It team from Family. You can easily reach us at familyhvac.net. From our family to yours, have a happy holiday.
Family Heating and Air is your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
The following is a district-wide service announcement from the District Tap.
The District Tap. Craft beer on tap and damn good food. Wait, hey, can we say that? Damn good food?
Yes, I'm told that damn good food is totally acceptable. Go ahead and pick it up from there.
The District Tap. Craft beer on tap and damn good food. And don't get me started on all the sports at the tap. Over 60 big f***ing screens with as much NFL and collegiate football action as you can handle. Weeknight matchups? Yeah, we have weeknight games. Looking for a spot downtown to catch that game? Get your f***ing ass over to our new downtown location at the corner of Georgia Street and Meridian. Game on at the District Tap. How's that?
Fan-tastic.
The District Tap. Craft beer on tap and damn good food. North at 82nd Street, just east of Keystone at the Crossing, and downtown at the corner of Georgia Street and Meridian. Online at thedistricttap.com.
It's not a dive, not even quite a hole in the wall. But it's definitely not one of those loud corporate places with a zillion TVs where the man bun is the official uniform. It's Behringer's Tavern on South Meridian, and it's everything a tavern should be. 140 years of history in Indy, and it's been resurrected just enough to not kill the neighborhood bar vibe. Food, including an attached pizza joint, billiards, shuffleboards, and, ready for this, affordable drinks. Behringer's Tavern on South Meridian. It's everything a tavern should be.
Hey, JMV, thinning hair this year? Grow your hair back like I did. Call 317-522-2995 or visit WeGrowHairIndy.com today.
The Ride with JMV.
Excuse me, sir. There's been a little problem in the cockpit.
The cockpit? What is it?
It's the little room in the front of the plane where the pilots sit. But that's not important right now.
93.5 and 107.5. The Fan.
You need to get here. This is Whiskey Business, Pendleton Pike. Seriously, where are you? It's unfortunate you're not here by now, but you need to get here. You still have time. It's not like I'm going to leave anytime soon. I'm going to be here. They have great food. Dev, my engineer, had lunch here. He said it was exceptional. I think he had some kind of burger with peanut butter and jalapenos. There was all sorts of stuff on that bad boy. He loved that. Great food. And we have ice cold Bud Light for you. And your chance, they're doing the football toss in front of my face right now. Got your chance to win Monday Night Football tickets as well. So why would you not want to be here? Get here. Join us. Joel A. Erickson, top of the hour. Mike Wells, ESPN Radio. Don Fischer, voice of the Hoosiers. Stuff like that coming up. And I'm trying my damnedest not to be negative because you guys think I'm over the top being negative. I don't believe that to be the case. But I listen to what you guys have to say. I do. I take it home with me. A little bit of positivity, and we can work around the edges of the negativity, which is robust. Pendleton Pike, Whiskey Business, thank you all for joining us. AAA Membership Lounge via YouTube Live. I want you to watch, too. How's the hair look, by the way? AAA Membership Lounge via YouTube Live. Meantime, on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. Yeah, he's got a busy weekend, too. I mean, this time of year, incredibly busy on Indiana Sports Talk around the state of Indiana. The Network Indiana affiliation, his name is Bob Lovell. You've got a lot to discuss, don't you?
I really think we do, John. It's one of those great weekends of basketball before the holidays, and so annually one of those great times of the year when you have big games, great games, big matchups, rivalries, and everything, high school and college, and with the Pacers. So there's a whole lot going on.
The Indy Classic. How you feeling about the Indy Classic?
Love it. I love everything about it. Josh Rattray has done a fantastic job with this. And how do you not like the mudsock matchup between HSE and Fischer's? Two of the best teams in the state. Fischer's number one. So there's a whole lot to get excited about.
I like it, too. I was talking to Grant Leindecker, who is the vice president and director of athletics at Butler, and what that all entails to be a part of that. And I love it, especially this time of year. It just fits so well, whether we're talking about, Butler Northwestern or, Purdue and Auburn. It just always fits so well on the schedule where there's a lot going on like this time of year.
I couldn't agree more, John. I mean, I think, Butler Northwestern is a great matchup without question. High school basketball, I mentioned, HSE and Fischer's. I think it's the highlight game, quite frankly, the entire weekend. It's everybody's excited. It's always jam-packed. Moved it to a bigger facility, obviously, to accommodate the fans. These are two teams that could possibly play for a championship at some point. So all of that's great. And then, you have college basketball wrapped around all of that. So there's a whole lot to like about this weekend.
Yeah. To Bob Lovell of Indiana Sports Talk. He is going to have you covered, and I know you're going to be eyeballing this Bama-Oklahoma matchup in Norman coming up later on tonight because the winner, it still feels weird to say this, but I absolutely love it. The winner advances to the Rose Bowl in the college football playoff to take on IU on New Year's Day. There's nothing but outstanding stuff surrounding that.
Well, everything we talk about in college football is brand new, quite frankly. I mean, just look at it. And so, yeah, it's a little strange to say without question, but still, we're hopeful. I'm not really sure if I care who wins. I just know that the Hoosiers are going to be playing a good team.
Yeah, no doubt about that. I don't know. I asked this question, Bob, a little bit earlier. Bama, Oklahoma. I'm assuming Oklahoma probably gets the nod right here because they're at home, but Bama does have the history. I don't know. I think that this is the question I have. I think that I'd ask, kind of like I do those that cover the NFL, is there something significant at all to you to when you have a team that has a game, that plays, sees the positivity, gets a win under their belt, kind of like the NFL on the wild card, that gets a head start over a team that gets more of a flat-footed beginning as IU will have in the Rose Bowl, even if they're the one seed overall?
It's the age-old question, John, momentum versus being able to heal some things. You know what I mean? If you're off, people think, well, you've lost your rhythm, you've lost your edge. I'm not so sure that's necessarily the case. I just think that and frankly, as a coach, if you're a football coach, it's a long and brutal season. If you have time for your guys to heal mentally and physically, you should be excited about it. And, I think that the concept of having played a game going into it, that might be to your advantage early on. But once you settle in, once you get past the first quarter, you're playing football. So it's the same thing basketball-wise. So I think much more is made out of it than what truly probably happens.
Man, no doubt about that. I'm going to double back too because you mentioned the hoop, whether it's high school or collegiate basketball, and anything that stands out to you about the start of the high school basketball season at all, Bob, so far?
What stands out to me has been how many good teams there are. I mean, and how balanced all the classes really are. I mean, Fischer's and HSE, Westfield, Noblesville tonight's a great one. The surprise might be Crown Point up in the region. They're undefeated and playing awfully well. You go up and down. I mean, Cathedral's playing well. South Bend St. Joe, New Pal, Guerin Catholic's playing great. It's just a situation where there are a lot of kids back from last year. A lot of teams came in with high expectations. We're still early. Obviously, we're not to Christmas, but starting to find out that some of the teams that thought would be good really are, maybe a little bit better than what we thought. So another year. It's another great year of basketball in our state, and hopefully it continues to be this way.
So Bob Lovell of Indiana Sports Talk, who has you conveniently covered from top to bottom, coming up later on this evening and tomorrow night as well. And again, if you're venturing down to check out the Indy Classic presented by Bush Chili Beans, we were talking to Grant Leindecker, as I mentioned a little bit earlier. That's tomorrow at Cambridge Fieldhouse. Butler Northwestern at 4, Purdue and Auburn at 6:30, the nightcap right there, which should be fun. The one thing that I was thinking about the other day, and I'm glad it occurred to me, maybe it's just me, and I'm noticing it more now than ever, but have you noticed at the start of the season, I mean, we're already in season, and there are already high school kids, like, moving all over the place, going to different schools and transferring. Yeah. Is this how this is going to be now?
Yes. In a word, yes. Just get ready for it. NIL has filtered down to high schools. I'm not aware of cases of it in our state, but it will happen. And transferring mid-year is especially a problem on the girls' side. They're further into it. And so you've had some young ladies and young men maybe stick around for a couple of weeks, 3 weeks, and then leave. And so, it's a brand new world, John, and those of us your age, my age, and younger, still trying to cope with it, still trying to understand it. And so it's just there's a lot going on, and I'm not exactly sure what the final result will be for everybody. And so if you're a kid, you have freedom of movement like you've never had before. If you're a coach, good luck, because you have somebody today and they're gone tomorrow. Hard to get continuity, hard to build around those kinds of circumstances. And that's the least of the worries of the kid and his family.
Are we allowed? I'll give you a great example. Like, I embrace transfer portal and NIL because of how it's transformed in 2 years IU in Bloomington, the football program, what it has done and what they've accomplished. But at the same time, am I allowed to kind of evaluate this on all levels and go, wow, this freedom of movement that you referenced right here, there's zero way this ultimately can be good. And to me, without somebody coming up with a different idea or some guardrails on this, it can only get worse, I think, from this point. Can it not? I'm not just talking about it in terms of collegiately, but that whole trickle-down effect that we see as a part of this right now and that freedom of movement that you reference, how can we not suggest it's only going to get worse?
Well, I think the argument for it, John, let me start this way. The argument for it is to allow kids that freedom of movement, allow them to make choice, especially at the college level. Things don't work out. They over-recruited. You didn't get the time you thought, this, that, and the other, and you're out. You're going someplace else. That has already trickled down to high schools. People have been leaving high schools for a long time now. And so you have that freedom. It's part of the American way. I mean, you're free to go get another job tomorrow. You're free to move to Franklin tomorrow if you want to and join me, and you have all of that freedom. And so why not have the kids have that? That's there. From that, it always comes back to unintended consequences, John. That's the key to life. There's always unintended consequences. Sometimes you can plan for them, sometimes you can't. You didn't realize with the NIL or this freedom of movement concept, you never really envisioned it filtering down into high schools and beyond that. And so now you've come up with a new set of circumstances, and I'm not sure that we have a good grasp of what the impact is. I don't know how long it will take for us to figure it out, but you're certainly in a brand new situation, and I'm not so sure that new situation is any good for anybody, frankly.
Yeah, I just, it's weird. I feel like I'm a hypocrite because I question some areas of this, and then obviously the one that I just brought up as an example, the IU, I go, oh, wow, this is a new world, and you can thrive in this, and look what it's done. But in other aspects, I go, wow, this can only be bad and continue to be bad. And I don't see any, working out of the hole.
One of the bad things, John, is if you're a high school senior, the recruiting world has changed for you. There are a whole lot of schools aren't recruiting kids out of high school. And frankly, why would you? They're not physically and mentally ready to take on Division I play, especially in football. So, go ahead and play the portal, which is what the big-time people do, by you involved in it too. And so there's another unintended consequence. It's hard to be that D1 prospect and get the looks that you would in the past when people aren't going that route to recruit.
Bob Lovell of Indiana Sports Talk later on tonight. Tomorrow night, you're going to have everybody updated on absolutely everything, aren't you?
Yeah, absolutely. And I like you said, I think it's great day. You love having Butler, Northwestern, Auburn, and Purdue. You love the fact that you still have that kind of event going on at Gainbridge. It's a great way to do it. Go to the Coliseum, watch the Mudsock game between HSE and Fischer's. You got a lot of choices tomorrow for some great basketball around Central Indiana and around the state.
That is Bob Lovell. He's of Indiana Sports Talk, and every Friday right here in this position on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. As always, man, I appreciate that. Have a great weekend, and I'm trying to think. Next week we should have you back. We'll be past Christmas, so have a Merry Christmas with the fam, okay, buddy?
You too, John. Thanks so much for the call.
Bob Lovell of Indiana Sports Talk. I should mention, too, because Don Fisher's going to join us a little bit later on in the show, IU and Chicago State coming up tomorrow. Also a part of the college basketball schedule. I mean, we are all over the map with stuff. All right, I've got some bros coming. Some Smiley Bros for the second best DJ in the state of Indiana. Thank you, guys. Collinsworth and the gang are going to show up here. This location, Whiskey Business. We are off of Pendleton Pike. I would love to see you. Bud Light Blue Friday means you had the football toss going on and your chance to win Monday Night Football tickets. Joel A. Erickson. Hey, the latest on participation in practice, DeForest Buckner, and a long weekend awaiting the Colts on Monday night against now, I'm assuming, an even more motivated San Francisco team, given the circumstances last night and their track down and that possibility of the 1 seed of the NFC. We shall see, but that's the expectation. And a busy weekend with the NFL. 2 games coming up tomorrow, a full schedule on Sunday, then the Monday night capper for Week 16 here in Indy. And the history of the Colts on Monday night recently is not good. That and more we'll go over. Joel A. Erickson, top of the hour. Mike Wells, ESPN Radio, bottom of the 4. Boys of the Hoosiers, Don Fisher, 5 o'clock hour. The stream, the app, HD Radio, AAA Membership Lounge via YouTube Live. Be a part of this show and join us wherever you can with 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
93.5 and 107.5 The Fan. Your home for indie sports. Now with even more ways to listen.
Listen on air.
Online at 1075thefan.com.
And on our free app.
Stay connected to all things indie sports, including the latest news, show blogs, and catch up on what you've missed with our podcast.
We're never more than just a click away.
Download our app at Google Play and on the App Store. From your home for indie sports.
93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
I want you to be happy. I want you to be happy as heck, especially about the car buying experience. Maybe that's been a pain in the past, but I can direct you to my friend Eric Wilson for the best car buying experience you're going to find any place. That's Andy Moore Buick GMC, 131st State Road 37 in Fishers. Why? Because they have everything that you need, and you know that going in. So that is most of the battle. And then what happens after that is Eric Wilson and his staff will deal with you. For example, the inventory that they have, you can just kind of eyeball what they have with their selection, find out what you want, and then ask about the incentives to buy programs that they have as well. And also, never forget about this, because this continues the life expectancy. You want longevity in your purchase, you can get that with the service after the sale. That is what is so important about the best car buying experience out there, being one place and one place only. It's my friend Eric Wilson and Andy Moore Buick GMC, 131st State Road 37 in Fishers.
This is James with Price Point Comfort Heating and Cooling. Out working during the holidays, I always love getting to customers' houses. They're baking, getting the free cookies or the cakes or things you're going to take home with you. Sometimes you're there helping somebody on Christmas Day, and it becomes a benefit. My wife's like, "Oh, you had to work today," and I don't tell her about the case of cookies I got in the truck that I got while I was at Mrs. Jones's house. So we're here if you need us. You're part of our family.
Price Point Comfort Heating and Cooling is your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
It is Bullseye of Ingroup.com, the Colts VIP tailgate, presented by Haynes & Sons Restoration. I'm not going to do this right now, but here relatively soon. Before the end of the show, I'm going to give you a chance to go to this. So I'm going to start at 3 o'clock. That's before doors open coming up on Monday. Prior to the start of the Colts VIP tailgate, presented by Haynes & Sons Restoration. Inside, you've got all the food, all the beverage, DJ Skids, Laura Steele, the entertainment, and the absolute best tailgate party inside bullseyeeventgroup.com and the Colts VIP tailgate that you're going to find absolutely any place. That is it for you, too. That's how you get your game day experience started the right way. And it really does make the entirety of the game day experience with bullseyeeventgroup.com. Also, if you're looking for tickets to go to Pasadena for the Rose Bowl, they've got you covered on that as well. Log on to bullseyeeventgroup.com. Hey, know this. I'm going to give away some passes a little bit later on in the show, but know that to be true right now. If you're looking for those passes, or if you would like to go to Pasadena to see IU in the Rose Bowl, log on right now. That's bullseyeeventgroup.com.
The Fan cares, and if you or someone you care about needs food assistance, we have resources for you, including food distribution locations with an interactive map. Also, learn how you can make a difference for friends and neighbors in need, all at 1075thefan.com.
Hey, John here for my friends, Dan Moyer, Moyer Fine Jewelers. That's Moyer Fine Jewelers in Carmel this time of year. Extra special. Why? Because they have you covered, especially if you're thinking about getting engaged. And you mentioned my name, $500 off your engagement ring purchase now through Christmas Eve with Moyer Fine Jewelers. The best, top quality, competitive prices, natural diamonds, hand-selected. It's Moyer Fine Jewelers in Carmel, 146th Street in Carmel. Online, MoyerFineJewelers.com. Exclusions apply. Plus, they also have you covered in terms of that great gift-giving idea. From the engagement rings that I talked about, to jewelry, to watches, Omega, Breitling, David Yurman, and more, all under one roof. No gimmicks, the best lineup of engagement rings anywhere, jewelry anywhere, watches anywhere this holiday season. Of course, it's Moyer Fine Jewelers. And remember, the engagement ring that you purchase, mention my name, get $500 off. And I would love to hear about the entire experience for you as well with that engagement, because this is going to winter over for the rest of your life. Own it. If you don't do it right, you'll wear it. But if you do it right, hit that grand slam. Thank me later for it at Moyer Fine Jewelers in Carmel, 146th Street in Carmel. It's MoyerFineJewelers.com.
Jake Query here. Each weekday noon to 3, guests appear live on the Java House Peel and Pour guest line. Use code JAKE25 at javahouse.com to save 25% on your first order.
My husband's an animal in bed.
Well, you know.
Not in the fun way. Think warthog. With a chainsaw.
Snoring and sleep apnea affect over 90 million people, and 1 out of 4 couples sleep in separate rooms. Advent can help. We've been your one-stop solution for nasal congestion, snoring, and sleep apnea for over 20 years. Unlike many other practices, we focus exclusively on these conditions, so you get comprehensive care under one roof. Advent's unique approach can help you breathe and sleep better, and many avoid a CPAP. Plus, most insurance is accepted for our effective 20-minute in-office treatments.
Hey, the only animal you want in your bed is your dog.
Advent. Sleep better. Sleep together. Learn how you can improve your life at adventknows.com.
It's Terry Stacy for Cynthia's Hallmark, and this Christmas, give her something she'll treasure forever. The most sought-after jewelry in the country, E. Newton. Timeless, elegant, and designed for everyday wear. And don't forget the classic Ronaldo bracelets, hand-wired with care in New Albany, Indiana, and these gifts are gifts she will truly love. E. Newton and Ronaldo are available only at Cynthia's Hallmark in Greenfield, and if you're looking for relaxation as a gift, explore the Lemon Lavender Collection. Pampering spa day favorites, perfect for anyone who could use a little comfort this season. And you've got to feel the lavender-scented Warm Pals. They're gently weighted, warm or cool, and designed to give that soothing hug-like feeling. Gifts that fit every budget for every person on your list. You'll find just the right presents at Cynthia's Hallmark, including gift cards. Make your holiday giving meaningful, memorable, and magical. Shop locally owned Cynthia's Hallmark, celebrating 40 years. 116th and Allisonville Road, 96th and Lantern Road, 116th and Brook School Road, and in Greenfield.
Oklahoma hosts Alabama in round 1 of the college football playoff. Tonight at 7:30 on 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
The Ride with JMV.
No, this isn't an argument.
Yes, it is.
No, it isn't. It's just contradiction.
No, it isn't.
Yes, it is.
It is not.
It is. You just contradicted me.
No, I didn't.
Oh, you did.
No.
You did just then.
No, nonsense.
Oh, look, this is futile.
No, it isn't.
93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
Whiskey business. Bud Light Blue Friday. Pendleton Pike, thank you for joining us. Got Colts Monday Night Football tickets to give away. I'm going to drop the good news first on you regarding the practice participation today. DeForest Buckner, as I talked about earlier, a full participant. Meantime, get set. Get set because it's not looking good for Sauce Gardner, and the left tackle, Bernard Ryman. Not looking good for either one of them. I will say this regarding Luke Tenuta, I thought came in and did a fine job at left tackle. You want to know how? Because you didn't notice him. Nobody ever said, oh, my God, he stinks. But Jalen Travis, who's going to be a part of Colts Happy Hour on the show a little bit later on tonight, I thought Jalen Travis, the rookie from Iowa State, came in and did a great job at right tackle. In fact, that is your future right tackle right there to me. Now, different set of circumstances. But I thought both bookends, you got to come in Seattle, you know about their defense. You got a 44-year-old dude just coming out of retirement after 5 years. You got to protect. I didn't have a problem with either side. Anybody else? Not at all. I will also tell you this, and it's not all about it, but you can certainly draw some pivotal lines. It seems like when they lost to DeForest Buckner, that's when everything went to crap in a handbasket, which is supposed to be hell in a handbasket, but I said crap in a handbasket instead. Never minimize DeForest Buckner not being out there as a big damn deal. So looking good for him, not so much for Ryman and Sauce. I know. The whole Sauce thing. You know how big of a horse's ass I feel like because I was so touting that deal. And, yeah, do it, man. Live in the now. You got to live in the now. And I look back at the NFL trade deadline and going, man, that was a bad call by me. Few and far between that we have seen. with Sauce Gardner for 2 number ones and A.D. Mitchell. I feel bad about that. I feel like I've led you the wrong way, led you astray. I can't lie, though. I was on top of it. I go, hey, you got to do it. Do it. Just go for it right now. Go for it. I'm a go for it guy. Go for it. You guys never go for it. It seems like whatever Chris Ballard has done to follow his own path or his own process hasn't worked. And then when he's gotten away from his own path and own process, that hasn't worked. Simply put, there hasn't really been a damn thing that's worked. Nothing. That's me. I was all over the sauce. We have seen, it's been a rarity that we have seen the sauce, which is highly unfortunate for this team. All right, quick break. We'll come back. It is a Bud Light Blue Friday. Thank you for joining us. Pendleton Pike. We're off of Pendleton Pike at Whiskey Business. What a great spot. A lot of our friends are out here right now. I'm going to look for you over the course of the afternoon. Don Fischer, voice of the Hoosiers, coming up in the 5. We have evidently eliminated Mike Wells of ESPN Radio. For what reasons, I don't know. But apparently he cannot go today. But Joel A. Erickson about those things and more, and the Colts matchup coming up on Monday night with Frisco. Joel's good to go coming up on the other side. The Stream the App, HD Radio, AAA Membership Lounge via YouTube Live. You can watch, you can participate. I think that's swell. Whiskey Business, Bud Light Blue Friday with 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
You'll get more than you expect with McValue at McDonald's. Like deals on your late night go-tos when the party goes till dawn. And savings on their faves. So date night always passes the vibe check. Plus, when the fam shows up for the weekend, you can show out for breakfast.
Enjoy a $3 sausage McMuffin with egg or egg McMuffin and pair it with a $1.49 any size Coke. Price of participation may vary, cannot be combined with any other offer.
I can tell you this, and I can tell you this for certain. There is no greater snacking going on than when you have Winchell that's a part of it. Original, sharp cheddar, bacon and cheddar, jalapeno pepper. That is a fan favorite right there, too. You want that elite level snacking, whether it's a cracker or a chip, even a vegetable. What do you like throwing cheese on? What do you dig with your cheese? If that's it, Winchell's, that's what you need. The place to find it, Neiman's Harvest Market in Carmel, Gordon's Food Service, and Meyer locations throughout the state of Indiana. The spreadability of Winchell's.
Satch Vai Band, featuring Joe Satriani and Steve Vai. Two living legends, one band. Surfing with the Hydra 2026 Tour. Saturday, May 9th, Everwise Amphitheater at White River State Park with special guest, Animals as leaders. Reserved seats are on sale now at Ticketmaster.com. Satch Vai Band, an electrifying sonic powerhouse, part of the Jack Daniels Concert Series.
Love, Heating, and Air, 317-353-2141. That's John and Chris Love with Love, Heating, and Air. Hey, this time of year, we're all over. It's like a roller coaster. I feel like I'm on the Beast, and it's like 1987. Seriously, all over the map right now with weather. That can compromise your system, which can lead to you being uncomfortable in your home. We don't want that. You want the best to make sure you're good to go. John and Chris Love and Love Hitting in Air at 317-353-2141. Have them get your system checked up. If you need a repair, mention my name. I'm further going to help you out here as well. They're going to take $95 off your service fee on your repair with Love Hitting in Air. You just mention my name, $95 off, 317-353-2141 online, love-hvac.com today.
Hensley Legal Group is one of those firms that puts the client above all else.
We pride ourselves in caring and communication.
We're extremely passionate about helping them through their tough times.
We truly want to see our clients get better.
It happens.
Hire Hensley.
Hey there, it's Jake Query with a question for you. What are your dinner plans? Or do you even have a plan? I want you to be a hero tonight. Be a winner. Be a champion as a dinner provider. Get the Chicago's $25 medium pizza special tonight. 2 medium, 1-topping pizzas and an order of fresh hot breadsticks, all for just $25. You can pick up, delivery, dine in, DoorDash, whatever it might be. Be a winner at dinner with the $25 medium pizza family meal deal. This is not cheap, average, fast chain pizza. This is pizza with crust, handmade every day and topped generously with fresh ingredients made by local owner-operators who obsess over every slice. Add a salad, pasta, or sandwich to make any picky eater happy. Order online at chicagospizza.com. Click on your closest location and order the $25 medium pizza family meal deal. 25 is the special number, $25 medium pizza family meal deal, and 25 Indiana locations, 18 of them in Central Indiana. Make the entire family happy tonight. Even better, make yourself happy tonight with Chicago's Pizza. Chicago's Pizza, where there's a story told in every slice.
From the DriveHubler.com studios, this is 93.5 and 107.5, The Fan.
WIBC HD2, W298BB, WIBC HD3, W228CX, Indianapolis. The Cal Bears face the Hawaii Rainbow Warriors in the Hawaii Bowl. Wednesday night at 7:30 on 93.5 and 107.5, The Fan.
The Ride with JMV.
Here's Johnny! Down! David Letterman! Hi, David. I'm Grandpa.
93.5 and 107.5, The Fan.
Hey, welcome back. This show is live off of Pendleton Pike. Hey, Steve, would I call this Oak Landon right here? Is this Oak Landon right here? Oak Landon? Lawrence, Oak Landon. Getting closer and closer to McCordsville. Little Geist area right here. Bud Light Blue Friday. Football toss is happening. I see a lot of familiar faces on a great Friday and a lot of familiar voices on this show on a Friday as well. And we're diving into a lot of things. Hoosier fans are going to find out who their football team play in the Rose Bowl on New Year's Day. You've got Alabama and Oklahoma from Norman coming up later on tonight. Bowl games also a part of the equation this evening. I brought up the Pacers, that last-minute loss, I should say last few seconds loss, to the Knicks last night. Jalen Brunson knocks down a 3. He also flops and flounders all over the floor, which is absolutely ridiculous. But the Knicks get a win. Very disappointing because the Pacers led most of that game, and then Brunson with that game-winning 3. Pacers, New Orleans, I think, coming up. New Orleans and Boston on the road back-to-back for the blue and gold. You've got the Indy Classic tomorrow. We talked to Grant Leindecker, who's the AD over at Butler. Butler and Northwestern, game 1. Purdue and Auburn, game number 2. IU, Chicago State. Voice of the Hoosiers, Don Fischer, going to join us at the 5 o'clock hour here. Meantime, on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline, we got a lot to get to from the Indianapolis Star, Joel A. Erickson, who joins us right now. So let me make sure we're on the same page, Joel, with this. Looks like DeForest Buckner is good to go for his return, which is a big deal. But Bernard Ryman, Sauce Gardner, not so much. Let's start right there. Is that the truth?
I'm still. I think with the full practices that Buck is going to be in a good spot, but I still think there's a chance that's maybe a tough one. When we talked to him today, it kind of sounded like he's still trying to figure out, if that arm and everything is going to respond the way he wants it to.
That has been a big deal. Does the loss of Buckner coincide with a lot of the slide that we have seen with his team? I'm not suggesting that's all of it, but certainly he is a big deal in terms of when you miss him, it is significant.
Oh, yeah. Well, I looked this up, yesterday, actually, and they've got 10 sacks in the last 5 games without him. They had 26 in the 8 before that. That's about a sack a game fewer. And I think it's really pronounced over. They only have 3 in the last 3 games. I think that's really pronounced itself here over the last 3 games as things have gotten worse with the pass rush.
Yeah, it certainly has. Do you view this? It's funny because I think if we were to talk about, and I know that a lot has happened, right? There's been a changing of landscape across the board with this team over the course of the season to where we are right now. But if we were to bring this up, their position right now at the start of the season, people would probably buy into it. To me, it almost feels like that there is that cloud of they're done and could lose out with this squad. Did you get anything positive out of what took place in Seattle, even in that loss, that could lead to them doing what needs to be done to punching a ticket to the postseason? Because it doesn't seem like a lot of the fan base has a similar feeling right now.
I think to me, honestly, it was you hate to talk about moral victories, but let's face it, they're down to their emergency quarterback. Not even their number 3 quarterback. They're down to their break glass in case of complete and total emergency quarterback. And when you get to that point, I know a lot of people don't like to talk about this, but show me the team in the NFL who's on their third quarterback or calling somebody from Fairhope, Alabama to come do it and in a good spot. So I think if you take that into context, I was not expecting them to have the lead with 47 seconds left in that game in terms of just, I just didn't think they were going to be there in that type of situation. Now, the flip side of it, in terms of them losing out, it's a little bit of what we just said, though. They don't have their quarterback, and they don't have their second quarterback, and they're down to their third quarterback. Phillip Rivers is a Hail Mary, and so if people are feeling like, they might lose out, well, that's usually what happens when you get down to your third quarterback.
So Joey Erickson, the star, he's on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. I want to get back to Phillip Rivers with you in just a second, but where are we truly at this point in time with Anthony Richardson Sr.?
Well, I think the biggest thing, and to me, really the key thing more than anything else, is just, this is a guy who has he has vision issues. He still has vision limitations. And that, to me, is a significant issue that is, really, I think in some corners, at least online, it feels like people are like, well, he's fine to go. Well, no, he has a vision limitation. If you think about what he said yesterday, he said, I don't have major limitations. He didn't say I have no limitations. I can see perfectly. And that's where we are, is they've got him out there practicing. They have to see how that affects him, if it affects him, to what level it affects him. There's a lot of reason to be concerned. I think that's pretty obvious when you have a quarterback who's dealing with a vision issue.
So, do you have any thought about how compromised it is to this point? Because I have
no idea.
It was weird. Like I know, hey Joe, I know what he wants to say. He wants to because what he's known for tapping out and all that. I mean, he wants to man up, and say, "Hey, I'm ready to go right now." And then you hear his head coach, and his head coach says something, completely 180 from what he says. But do you have any feel as to where he is with that vision situation right now?
I don't know. I don't think I know I don't think we know exactly what kind of limitation we're talking about. It's because this is one of those things that we don't deal with very often. I think as a we don't deal with vision limitation with people very much, and I don't know. Does that mean that he's got, there's a part of his field of vision that's obscured? Does that mean that he's got blurriness in some? I don't know that, and he didn't really help us out in terms of trying to understand what he's dealing with there. So I don't think we really know exactly what it is. Just that there is some limitation on the vision.
Do you think they would bring him back next year? I mean, I know he's got, if they want to exercise, all right, he's got another year to go here. And knowing the circumstances at quarterback, would they bring him back, or would it be better off for everybody to try to hopefully, maybe for him or whomever, to find a different spot for him next year? Have we seen the final last of him playing here?
I would say that Chris Ballard would always leave that door open. But you do come to a point where, if Richardson feels like this isn't being handled the way he would like it to be, or something like that, or It's just been hard for him to get on the field. They went out and got Phillip Rivers. I do think that there's the possibility there that maybe they move on.
If they lose out, because I don't know where you've been, but when they made that deal for Sauce Gardner, I thought, well, this means that this group, this organization, this organizational pieces, this head coach will be around for the longer haul into next year. And I always thought, I felt that back at the trade deadline. But, you often think about if you have the worst case scenario happen if they were to lose out. Is there a chance you think that there's a reset organizationally speaking, or do you think these guys still will withstand that?
I think that you can make a case, and I know some people would disagree with me on this. I think that you can make a case that the injuries are what derailed this season. And I know some people will say, well, they had Jones up until the first part of the Jacksonville game. Well, he was playing on a fractured fibula, and I kind of think that was a bigger deal than maybe he let on in terms of how much it was something that affected him. You know how quarterbacks are; they tend to not make a big deal out of those things, and so I do think that you could make that case. I don't know what Carly Ursay Gordon will do, but I will say this: when Jones went down in Jacksonville, my first thought was, when someone asked her in the introductory press conference about, is this a playoffs or bust year for this team? And her first thing was, well, I need to know the circumstances. Did we have a rash of injuries that decimated us? That kind of thing. Some people might disagree. I think you can point to other things like, the edge rush still isn't where it needs to be. They weren't able to make a deal for a backup quarterback at the deadline to kind of fix the Richardson situation. But the flip side of that is also, you went out and signed Charvarius Ward to be your number one corner. He's going to play 7-ish games this season. You went and traded for Sauce Gardner. You lost him immediately. DeForest Buckner's clearly your most important defender. You lose your quarterback for the stretch run. That's the kind of thing that, like, maybe not in numbers, but in terms of the importance to the team, I think there's a case that can be made that injuries are what derailed this season.
On the other side of that, too, Joel A. Erickson of the Star joins us. I know that, especially the first-time guys, it doesn't matter. I mean, it's a gig in the NFL. But considering the circumstances of where they're going to be in the offseason, and I am kind of considering worst-case scenario right now, how attractive would this gig be in general? Any of these gigs in general.
It's a chance to run an NFL team. I think some of that, I've made those arguments before, but I think the more stuff happens, the more I kind of round it. Like they'll be able to get somebody.
I just always thought, and I agree with you on this too, because it is a gig and there are so few. But I mean, if do you truly get who you want? I guess under these circumstances would be my question, which I guess would be open for debate.
Yeah, I assume that would come down to the discussions that they have in the interviews. But yeah, I think there's a lot of jobs that come open that you're like, I don't know if that would be the job. And these guys think of themselves as guys who can turn stuff around. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at on it.
Well, and we think about limitations with Joel A. Erickson on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline right now. The limitations we saw in Seattle, you did things right. You put yourself in position in the final minute to win. You didn't end up winning because of a 56-yarder from Jason Myers. So those limitations that we saw, especially down the field, Shane Steichen had mentioned earlier this week that maybe that's something they could remedy, and he'd feel confident in it. Do you think that there is something they can do to get a little bit more of the pressure off of the defenses pressing up, as certainly Seattle did late in that game on Sunday?
Yeah, I think it's less about, the sort of deep ball that we think of, the big, long, high arcing deep ball, the Alec Pierce that we all love to watch. But I think it's less about that. I think it's more about I think it's more about like the 10 to 15 yard range. Can you make plays in the 5, 10, 15 yard range? Get Warren out in space and let him run, that kind of thing. 'Cause I just don't think you're going to see the moon ball from Phillip Rivers.
Is that necessary? Because I asked myself this a couple of different times watching this on Sunday. Why not just occasionally a jump ball to Alec Pierce? Because he's so good in going up and getting it. And at least you're giving him a chance and maybe putting the thought of the defensive mind, Joel, that opportunity is there. Why not do it even if you don't feel your quarterback is capable of, if you know what I mean?
Well, you got to feel like he can at least get it to where Pierce is. So I think the biggest thing is if they're going to throw that, it's going to be like that play where him and Downs had their miscommunication. And the receivers have to understand it. If Rivers is going to throw that, it's going to happen right away at the snap. It's not going to take he's not going to wait around for it. It's going to happen immediately.
So Joel Erickson of the Stars on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. How did you think Rivers played overall in that return after 5 years hiatus?
It was better than I expected, honestly. I don't know what I expected from him, but I just kind of thought it was going to be I thought not being able to see the picture in real time would slow some of that down for him, and I didn't really see that. I know the arm stuff, and obviously they didn't throw the ball very far, but they were trying to get the ball out of the pocket quickly, and then you lose Ryman, and that makes that even more of a big deal. But yeah, I was surprised. I was surprised that it went or that it looked as competent as it did.
Yeah, it's funny. You had all that, Joel, all that hype surrounding it, and if you read the numbers for CBS in Indianapolis, it was the highest-rated CBS Colts game in 5 years, and certainly the interest was the return of Phillip Rivers, and it's almost like you go from 60 to 0. Now you don't see a similar interest or anything like that, and there's just a lot of negativity surrounding it. It's kind of funny how it goes week to week in the NFL. That is a great example of that.
Yeah, I agree with that. That's kind of just sort of the way it works. Is that it was a novelty last week? It's not a novelty now. I think if you're talking about a situation where like Richardson's back in, I think maybe you get some of that back. But it was a novelty. Is the biggest takeaway? It was a novelty last week. It's not really. People feel like they've seen it this week, and so that's kind of where they're at.
It's Joel Erickson of the Stars on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. Now you have in your sights, if you're Frisco, that number 1 seed in the NFC. It's not like they were going back off the accelerator anyway on Monday night, but probably a little bit more, even more focused in this case than they certainly were. Bringing to the table a lot of things of what the Colts might struggle with on Monday night. I guess what would be chief or at the highest part of your list among those things that the Colts may struggle with on Monday night? Just being Monday night in general is a struggle for the Colts here in recent history, but what do the Niners bring to the table that you see first and foremost for this?
I think it's Christian McCaffrey and George Kittle. I think those two specifically against the middle of this defense, Shanahan finding ways to get them isolated on those linebackers who have struggled in coverage this season. I think that's where that's sort of the bread and butter of their offense in the way it isn't for other teams, where they don't really have to make an adjustment to do that. That's just where they attack. And I think getting McCaffrey and Kittle out, that's a spot where, this is a defense that had to play really, really well for them to have a chance. They scored 6 times last week, so if you turn 6 of those field goals into touchdowns, you're in a bad spot. So, that's the spot of the field I'm going to be watching is, what do they do with McCaffrey? What do they do with Kittle against those linebackers and against the middle of that defense?
Yeah, Joe, what's funny about that, I shouldn't say funny, I guess, but last week, you probably wouldn't normally think, hey, your team's going to be beaten by 6 field goals. But then again, when we're talking about the Colts, I guess anything like that is possible, right, after last weekend?
Well, the hard part is if you're running that offense where you don't really feel like you can move it down the field and you're trying to play ball control and trying to play low scoring, That is how you get beat by that. That's why there's a lot of people who've wanted the Colts to play like that, where you only run the ball, you don't really take chances in the passing game. But that's why teams don't do that. That's it right there. They don't do it because it's not sustainable in an NFL where teams are going to score.
Hey, if Richardson were healthy, would he be playing, or would they still have the thought that Rivers gives them the best opportunity?
I think if he's fully healthy, I think it's Richardson, because if you're going to play this running style, which is what you probably have to do, you can open up a lot more by having him in the game than you can by having Phillip Rivers back there. Like you add him to the running mix, and it gets a lot harder to key on JT, no matter how many guys you have in the box.
I just thought yesterday when he was answering questions from you guys, it was almost like he recognized his path to get here, and part of that was the whole tap out thing, and he was trying to say all the things. Hey, I could do it right now, or and it was really a 180 from a lot of what his coach talked about in his situation. So you kind of get that divide there, which I think it's a natural divide for him, because if you're a competitor, that's how you want to respond. But when his coach says something completely different, then it all kind of gets, especially with this particular team and this organization over the years, it all gets kind of washed up in the mix here.
Well, I think some of the disconnect is really just the player's going to want to play, and the coaching staff is dealing with the medical staff and everything else. So I think that's the harder part.
It is something. All right. I know we got a long weekend at hand here before. Well, you think about what's going on around them. Joel, in closing here, it seems like anything that has needed to happen positively, even outside of the Colts playing here recently, has gone negative. I mean, every single scenario seems to work against the Colts here.
Yeah, it does feel like they have not gotten the help they needed. They have not gotten the help they needed at all from any of the AFC teams. It feels like, obviously, if you lose if you're on the losing streak they're on, you're going to put yourself out of the playoff. But they just, Jacksonville keeps winning, Houston keeps winning, and then the Chargers keep winning. And those are the teams that I think you would have thought are the ones that you have a chance to maybe fall off a little bit. They haven't gotten that at all.
If you went out, you punch your ticket. I mean, there are reasonable ways, at least last check from me, where if you win 2 out of the last 3, you can get in as well. How are you feeling about either one of those scenarios, Joe?
I think they're in a spot like I said, once you're on your emergency quarterback and you're playing against teams that are playing for playoff berths, I think they're the underdog in all of these games. I don't know that I feel super confident going into any of them with what we've seen and with the injuries that they're dealing with. That's kind of where I'm at. And really I've been there since Jones went down with the Achilles tear. Is this team is in a different mode, in a scramble mode that they really couldn't have seen coming.
Yeah, it's weird. It just kind of seems, somebody had mentioned this to me earlier. This always happens to the Colts, but it's not like the same thing that happens to the Colts, but it's always something different, but it always has a similar impact, if that makes sense to you, Joe. You know what I mean? It's like always something different, but it has a similar impact of negativity as what we're going through right now. It is incredible, the rut that this group is in. It is.
Yeah, it's tough. And this year is maybe the biggest one because, I think we all talk about the 7-1 start, but I think even if you go to 8-2 coming off of Berlin, you feel like, they've got Sauce, Buckner's down, but you feel like you're getting Ward back and you can play defense in a certain way and you've got a real chance there. And then all of a sudden it's just kind of ripped out from under you.
All right. Well, you have a fantastic weekend. You guys doing First and Joel this weekend and doing a little something on Monday night on 59? What's happening there?
Yeah, we've already taped it. I've actually typed some overtime too since it's on Monday night.
Well, hell, we don't even know what's going to happen this weekend. Whose call was that?
We'll tape again. We'll tape again on Sunday. I'm sure on Monday. I'm sure, but you got to get ahead of it a little bit when you've got these games.
Then you think about the Monday nights of the recent history of the Colts, and that's even more of a Debbie Downer right there. So, where we are, I guess, right?
Well, that's what happens when, like I said, that's what happens when you get the injuries to the big-time guys.
Yeah, it's been something, no doubt about that. That Joel A. Erickson, who evidently has already taped his stuff this weekend on 559. Something live, local, and late breaking on Monday. Hey, Joel, man, have a great weekend. I appreciate you, and we'll see you up in the press box, I'm sure, coming up on Monday night. Thank you.
You bet.
Joel A. Erickson of the Star. I should remind you of this. I know Chris Hagan's out of town right now. Obviously, with the passing of his mother, they were doing something for that, I think, down in Alabama, Mississippi, coming up this weekend. But he will be back for that. And I'm assuming I'll do a little overtime on 59 coming up on Sunday night. It's funny. Somebody had mentioned this to me earlier about how, hey, it's the same old Colts. There are certainly things you can equate to being the same old Colts, but, man, these circumstances are all different and incredibly whack. Every single time it is. And it's too bad because, man, 7-1, and everybody is feeling good. And even with that second loss, I'm thinking, man, just go ahead and trade everybody. You're bringing that cornerback. Everything's great. And it has just gone to crap since then. So maybe not DeForest Buckner positive, as I talked about a little bit earlier, and certainly at left tackle. I didn't mind the way that Tenuta played at left tackle on Sunday in Seattle. And again, as I mentioned a little bit earlier, to a right tackle, I thought Jalen Travis was really good. And probably is going to be that of the future. Now, the rookie out of Iowa State right there. Thoughts with Joel? 239-1070 is that number, and Joel's on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. We shall take a break. No Mike Wells. I think Mike is going to be off this week, so it's going to be me and you on the other side at 239-1070. If you guys want to chime in on the phones, we would love to have you. Text line number 317-239-1070 as well. I mentioned Oklahoma, Alabama coming up in Norman later on tonight for the right to take on IU in the Rose Bowl and the college football playoff, because that officially is underway later on tonight. Miami A&M, that's Texas A&M and Miami coming up tomorrow. And James Madison and Oregon coming up tomorrow as well. So you get a lot of mixture going on. The Indy Classic, Butler and Northwestern, Purdue and Auburn tomorrow. IU, Chicago State coming up tomorrow. Voice of the Hoosiers, Don Fischer, a little over 30 minutes away. Whiskey business on a Bud Light Blue Friday. Happy holidays to everybody. We're going to bridge the gap through the weekend and get you to Monday night, where we're going to be at the Bullseye Event Center to start. The BullseyeEventGroup.com Colts VIP tailgate presented by Hayes & Sons Restoration. We start that coming up on Monday at 3. I'll tell you a little bit more about that and give you a chance to be at that pregame party coming up on Monday as well a little bit later on. But stream the app. It's HD Radio, the AAA Membership Lounge via YouTube Live. Do not go anywhere. Join the show at 239-1070 on the other side. This is 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
Welcome to Wawa. We're open 24/7, so when the sun goes down but everyone's still up, Wawa has your late night fuel. Headed to a hangout? Stop in for snacks and sodas. Binge your favorite shows with burgers and hoagies. Gather around the table with garlic knots and a cheesy Wawa pizza. Or just chill on the couch with fries and whatever milkshake sounds good. Your night just got a whole lot tastier. Freshly made burgers, pizza, and so much more. When you got a late night craving, you got a Wawa. Price and participation may vary by store.
Hey, John, for WeGrowHairIndy.com. You want your real growing hair again? You thinking about that? You losing your hair? Listen, all us dudes, we're losing hair. I mean, immediately. As soon as you graduate high school, it's like, hey, there goes the whole male pattern baldness signs right there. I was going through that a little bit later on in life, certainly 9 years ago. But Darren Andrews at 317-522-2995 said, hey, I can do something about that. And I said, well, tell me all about the options that I have. Multi-unit hair grafting, artist robotic FUE. That's all a part of WeGrowHairIndy.com. And now I can do anything with it. 56 years of age, real growing hair. Tell me more. Well, I can tell you more if you're thinking about it. If you're my age or you're younger and you want to do something about it because you want that real growing hair to sustain, it's 317-522-2995. Tell Darren Andrews that I sent you. It's WeGrowHairIndy.com today.
This is James with Price Point Comfort Heating and Cooling. Out working during the holidays. I always love getting to customers' houses. They're baking, getting the free cookies or the cakes or things you're going to take home with you. Sometimes you're there helping somebody on Christmas Day, and it becomes a benefit. My wife's like, "Oh, you had to work today," and I don't tell her about the case of cookies I got in the truck that I got while I was at Mrs. Jones's house. So we're here if you need us. You're part of our family.
Price Point Comfort Heating and Cooling is your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
Hi, I'm Emily, your friend and jeweler at Shane Company, where a small box with a burgundy bow will help you win the holidays. As an in-house designer, I love creating meaningful, fine jewelry gifts. Choose a necklace with a gorgeous infinity charm to symbolize your everlasting love. Or go for a personalized piece with an engraving, their zodiac sign, favorite color gemstone, or their initial accented with pave diamonds, because a friend wants you to be a holiday hero. Stop by or shop now at shaneco.com. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
The following is a district-wide service announcement from the District Tap.
The District Tap. Craft beer on tap and damn good food. Wait, hey, can we say that? Damn good food?
Yes, I'm told that damn good food is totally acceptable. Go ahead and pick it up from there.
The District Tap. Craft beer on tap and damn good food. And don't get me started on all the sports at the tap. Over 60 big f***ing screens with as much NFL and collegiate football action as you can handle. Weeknight matchups? Yeah, we have weeknight games. Looking for a spot downtown to catch that game? Get your f***ing ass over to our new downtown location at the corner of Georgia Street and Meridian. Game on at the District Tap. How's that?
Fan-tastic.
The District Tap. Craft beer on tap and damn good food. North at 82nd Street, just east of Keystone at the Crossing, and downtown at the corner of Georgia Street and Meridian. Online at thedistricttap.com.
With Wawa's Rewards program, you can rack up points on the items you buy with your morning coffee. With Wawa Rewards, points put the power in your hands. You can choose to redeem them for what you love most, like an iced latte for an extra pick-me-up or your lunchtime hoagie. Download the Wawa app today. When you gotta get rewarded, you gotta Wawa. Fuel rewards not available in New Jersey or were legally prohibited. See full details at wawarewards.com. Price of participation may vary by store.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products or compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, HIMS.com/JOY.
Hellsberg gifts checked off the list. Now, time for wrapping. Earrings for mom. A gold bracelet to match the rings Danielle wears every day. And for Dad, a new watch, because we all know he needs one. All right, this is going to be a good one.
Our favorite things for your favorite people. Shop in store at Hellsberg.com for up to 50% off.
93.5 and 107.5 The Fan. Your home for indie sports. Now with even more ways to listen.
Listen on air.
Online at 1075thefan.com.
And on our free app.
Stay connected to all things indie sports, including the latest news, show blogs, and catch up on what you've missed with our podcast.
We're never more than just a click away.
Download our app at Google Play and on the App Store. From your home for indie sports.
93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
The Ride with JMV.
I love JMV. He looks like Rascal Flatts guy.
Got a cool soul patch.
He does, and a buttery smooth voice.
Oh, yeah.
93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
Whiskey business here on Pendleton Pike. Bob observed my direction and joined us here. Ice cold Bud Light for Bob. Well, football toss for friends. Great food. Steve Simonson's hanging out here. I saw Todd over there. All of my friends here. Paul Montgomery's in the house. We got a lot of folks out. I do want to remind, and I know this is a different place, but it's over there on the east side, and I wanted to make sure you guys were readily aware of this. One of our favorite stops, as this is too, is Manley's Irish Mutt at 10th and Shadeland. And Mike Manley and company, they're coming up to their final days. They were closing at the end of the year. I still think, and Mike can tell me this if he's listening right now, I think they're having a pretty big bash coming up on the 27th, but they will close their doors to start the new year. And I just want to make sure that Mike and everybody over on the east side around 10th and Shadeland know that is one of our favorite places, and we will always hold that close to our heart. I love Manley's Irish Mutt, as do a lot of you as well, and I am very sad that it is closing. But hopefully everybody is cool with the run that they've had, because it has been tremendous. But we are sad that it is going away. So a shout out to Mike and the gang at Manley's Irish Mutt. And again, this is the final days that it will be open, because in the new year they will close their doors over on 10th and Shadeland. And Mike is a long time been a friend of this show. And I do a lot of stuff and go out to a lot of places, and I absolutely love it. Love going out there. I love going anywhere, but certainly that was one of our favorites right there. So shout out to you, Mike, and our friends over at 10th and Shadeland for just a job well done. All right, 239-1070 is that number. If you guys want to jump on board, you certainly can. 239-1070. You can also find us on the text line at 317-239-1070, where I have been informed, quote, Colts went out and you eat crow. So who's on board with the finger pointing at me? The Colts went out and I will eat crow. Anybody out there believe the Colts will win out? Let me tell you this, too, by the way. There's nothing that I would rather see than the Colts winning out and me eating crow. Do I believe it? I don't. But I love to see it. As I mention all the time, for those that think that the whole negativity thing is what stirs and what's get listeners and the clicks, you guys don't know a damn thing of what you're talking about. What stirs around here, what gets you clicks around here, what gets you high ratings around here is a good team, is a successful team, would be results. That's what does it. I always try to explain this is not noticeably New York or Boston or Philadelphia where you piss and moan. No, you piss and moan for 9 hours around here and you guys leave. I have always said that, and the reason why I've always said that is because it's the damn truth. You guys want positivity. You want to be able to talk about your team in a positive angle or viewpoint. You want to see the results. It makes you feel better. I understand exactly that. But anybody that ever suggests that, well, you just dwell on the negative because that's what's going to get you clicks or going to get you numbers, you are 100% inaccurate. Yeah, what am I talking about? I've only been doing this for 25 years, right? And I do know what I'm talking about. JMV, the Colts are going to play great, beat San Fran, give them hope, and then the Colts will know and get worked by Jacksonville and Houston. A little bit of extra pain right there. Yeah, I don't know if it goes down like that, but that would be more, I think, appropriate of what we've witnessed with the Colts and their results or success or lack thereof in recent history for sure. JMV, believe Ballard has another year on his contract. I say let him stew in his own brew. Maybe it works, maybe not, but I wouldn't pay him to stay home. I think that's another reason as to why that everything will remain relatively the same. If you listen to Joel A. Erickson, and listen, Joel has, no horse in the race here. He's just answering the question as I ask. Believing that everybody is going to be around because Carly Ursay-Gordon can look at this season and go, well, this is what happened, this is what transpired, and this is why we are where we're here. We go about, the years of lack of success with Ballard. She's going to go by, okay, what transpired this year? This is why. And I thought all along at the trade deadline that everybody was going to be back because that's the direction they decided to go right then and right there. Right or wrong. JMV, for all the Fairweather fans, please take your B's and go support the Browns, Bengals, Baltimore, even the Bears. From Steve. Yeah, the Bears are actually pretty good. The Bears have an opportunity at home coming up tomorrow night against the Packers to really flex, really for the first time against the Packers too, because notoriously speaking for the Bears, that has not gone well. Yeah, for the first time tomorrow night, we'll see if they can kind of shed that stigma, if you will, against the Packers. With that home date, that's one of the two games coming up tomorrow, by the way, too. You got two games coming up tomorrow, rest of the Sunday schedule per usual, and then Monday night with the Colts hosting the San Francisco 49ers. The football toss and more going on right now. This came across my desk a moment ago. JMV, I really like watching Jalen Brunson play and admire what he's accomplished, but it drives me nuts how he flips and flops around on the floor, always foul baiting. And I brought that up a little bit earlier, too. I do like him as a player, and I think he's an even better personality. But that takes away significantly. Significantly from the foul baiting. Saw that again last night. See, and you got really both sides of it last night. I mean, you got the flopping, and then you got a massive, incredible, well-defensed, game-winning three at the Fieldhouse. You did indeed see both sides of it of Jalen Brunson. But I would tend to agree. That takes away from me as well. Hey, by the way, the Pacers on the road coming up tomorrow in New Orleans, a 7 o'clock start, and then on Monday on the road at Boston for you. That's a 7:30 gathering. Next two games for the Pacers after that disappointment last night at home against the Knicks. On the road, New Orleans and Boston. All right, tomorrow, Indy Classic taking place at the Fieldhouse. What's up, D? Good to see you, pal. You've got Game 1, Northwestern and Butler. Game 2, Purdue and Auburn. IU, Chicago State, also coming up tomorrow. That's down in Bloomington. Voice of the Hoosiers, Don Fischer, going to join us. That's at the top of the hour. We'll talk about the matchup that we might end up getting. Either Alabama or Oklahoma. We'll find that out later on tonight with the college football playoff officially underway in Norman, Oklahoma. Voice of the Hoosiers, Don Fischer, talks with us coming up at the top of the hour. Also, bullseye passes to give away, too. Hey, don't go anywhere. The stream, the app, HD Radio. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for coming out here. We're at Whiskey Business, Pendleton Pike, Northeast Side in Lawrence on a Bud Light Blue Friday. Do not go anywhere. It's 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
It happens every holiday. Food comas, piles of wrapping paper, Uncle Harold's asleep in the recliner. It's only $5.45. But then, Cousin John rolls in with holiday scratch-offs from the Hoosier Lottery. Starting at just $1, they're the perfect gift for making the most of the one time of year all 30 cousins are gathered together in one living room. Unwrap instant fun with holiday scratch-offs. Hoosier Lottery, champions of play. Must be 18 or older to play. Gift responsibly.
Barrington Jewels is your holiday home of the finest gifts, like breathtaking diamonds, emeralds, rubies, sapphires, and a wide selection of gemstones. Barrington also offers exquisite watch brands like Oris, Junghans, and Tutima, as well as fine pre-owned timepieces from many top brands. From watches to necklaces and pendants, earrings, or even an engagement ring, you'll find the perfect holiday gift at Barrington. Visit Barrington Jewels in Clearwater Crossing. And remember, you haven't seen a diamond until you've seen a Barrington diamond.
JMV here for my friends at Premier Weight Loss. You know what's funny? When I was in my teens, body exploration meant something completely different than it does now that I'm 56 years of age. I can say now that it means, where am I on my weight loss journey? Down nearly 80 pounds. How about my body fat percentage? Down from 35% to 13%. Now it's time to add muscle mass, or lean mass, if you will, with the tone stimulation machine that they have at Premier Weight Loss. You can do the same. Weight loss journey and then tone up with Thomas and Samantha and the gang at Premier Weight Loss. It will work for you. That's PWLND.com. Mention my name. For the first 10 days in the month of December, you could win 2 lower-level tickets to see the Niners and the Colts. If you want to lose the weight, if you want to feel better, it's PWLND.com. You can do it. Tell them JMV sent you. PWLND.com today.
Hey there, it's Jake Query with a question for you. What are your dinner plans? Or do you even have a plan? I want you to be a hero tonight. Be a winner. Be a champion as a dinner provider. Get the Chicago's $25 medium pizza special tonight. 2 medium one-topping pizzas and an order of fresh hot breadsticks, all for just $25. You can pick up, delivery, dine in, DoorDash, whatever it might be. Be a winner at dinner with the $25 medium pizza family meal deal. This is not cheap, average, fast chain pizza. This is pizza with crust, handmade every day and topped generously with fresh ingredients made by local owner-operators who obsess over every slice. Add a salad, pasta, or sandwich to make any picky eater happy. Order online at chicagospizza.com. Click on your closest location and order the $25 medium pizza family meal deal. 25 is the special number, $25 medium pizza family meal deal, and 25 Indiana locations, 18 of them in Central Indiana. Make the entire family happy tonight. Even better, make yourself happy tonight with Chicago's Pizza. Chicago's Pizza, where there's a story told in every slice.
If you're one of the millions of Americans behind on your taxes, if you're afraid to open your mail because IRS collection letters could be coming, listen carefully. The IRS is cracking down, taking paychecks, freezing bank accounts, revoking passports. That's a fact. But here's what most people don't know. There are official tax relief programs designed to help struggling taxpayers. Programs that could save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief. Optima's award-winning team will fight to protect your paycheck, your passport, and your property. Their tax attorneys and licensed tax professionals will work tirelessly to get you the best deal possible with the IRS. Every day, penalties and interest keep piling up, so don't wait. Call Optima now for a free consultation.
Call 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Marcus Morris here with Family Heating and Air. As we're reaching colder weather, you may find yourself in need of furnace service. At Family, we specialize in solutions to extend your furnace life. Call the Fix-It team from Family. You can easily reach us at FamilyHVAC.net. From our family to yours, have a happy holiday.
Family Heating and Air is your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
If you or someone you know needs help putting food on the table, that help is closer than you think. The Fan cares. We've partnered with local food banks and organizations to provide resources for those who need them. Just go to 1075thefan.com and look for the banner that says Find Free Food Near You. You'll find a link to Community Compass with an up-to-date and interactive map that shows locations, days, and times for you to collect food at no cost, as well as other resources to help you through this challenging time. Find community help now at 1075thefan.com.
Hey, Jamie, join me tomorrow with Drew. We're going to be at Whiskey Business, Pendleton Pike, Bud Light Blue Friday, Monday Night Football tickets. We're going to get you set for that and then some. That is tomorrow at 3.
The Ride with JMV.
We're not going to fall for a banana in the tailpipe.
You're not going to fall for the banana in the tailpipe?
It should be more natural, brother. It should flow out like this. Look, man, I ain't falling for no banana in my tailpipe.
93.5 and 107.5. The Fan.
Thank you all for joining us at Whiskey Business on a Bud Light Blue Friday. Pendleton Pike location. Kurt's running things back at the studio. Dev is the on-site engineer, and Chris and Ethan running the football toss for Zinc and Bud Light on a Blue Friday. This reminder, I was talking to Joel A. Erickson about this a little bit earlier, those as the Colts continue to practice. Those that did not participate today would include left tackle Bernard Ryman. Anthony Gould, with that foot injury, was also a non-participant, and Sauce Gardner continues to struggle with that calf. For those of you that want to know Anthony Richardson Sr., he was, again, limited. Again, all this discussion we had with Joel, if you want to double back and catch it here after the show, 1075thefan.com. DeForest Buckner was back for a second straight day of full participation. However, Joel wasn't so sold that we will absolutely see his reemergence for the Colts defense coming up on Monday night. That is your updates regarding the Colts. And again, we got a long weekend and then going to Monday night against the 49ers. I'll be there live beginning at 3 o'clock. Bullseye, eventgroup.com, and the Colts VIP tailgate, presented by Hayes & Sons Restoration. I'll be there before the doors open. I will bail as the doors open and head up to Touchdown Town to do the Colts pregame huddle, which I believe starts at 5:30 here on the Fan. And I'm assuming because the Pacers play on Monday night, that will probably be exclusive to Country 97.1 Hank FM, with a lot of the Colts programming coming up on Monday. But, yeah, we got a lot of stuff that's going on and happening certainly on Monday. The Pacers go Saturday night, that's tomorrow night on the road in New Orleans, and then Monday on the road in Boston coming off of that loss last night. Voice of the Hoosiers, Don Fischer, is going to join us coming up at the top of the hour. Don gets IU Hoops in Chicago State tomorrow in Bloomington. And then you get New Year's Day. You'll find out tonight who Kurt Cignetti and the Hoosier program is going to match up against, either Oklahoma or Alabama. That game later on tonight in Norman, Oklahoma. All right, hey, D, I want to get you here really quick. Our good friend D from Broad Ripple is here. Hey, Dev, you got him good to go right here? You wanted to say something incredibly special. So you're going to prop me up and say nice things about me? Is that why you're here?
I can't. Can you hear me, John?
I can hear you great.
I can't hear you.
Well, I can hear you. That's okay. Yeah.
Thanks, John, for having me. Belated happy birthday to you.
Thank you very much.
I used to be, back in the day, a long time ago, I used to call in all the time, but I am a P1 listener. So real quick, I want to break down this Colts 49ers matchup. Because I've been a 49er fan since 80. What's that?
I thought you were going to prop me even more about my birthday and say nice things about me.
Well, John, you're awesome. Like I told you, we're lucky to have you as the JMV takeover.
That's okay.
Will be back.
I'm just joking.
But I'm going to break this down.
Yeah, break it down for us. Yes.
So both of these teams have something to play for now. San Francisco even more. The Colts.
They do.
Just to keep, if they can win this game, the Colts, they will be in a good position the next two games. But if the 49ers have the number one seed to play for, if they win out the next three games. So I'm looking for a good game. Yes, I'm a 49ers fan, but I look for the Colts to bring it.
Well,
I look for the Colts to play hard.
You live in Broad Ripple. How the hell are you a 49ers fan?
I can't hear.
You live in Broad Ripple. How are you a 49ers fan?
Been a 49er fan since 1981, John. Before the Colts even arrived. Okay. But I want the Colts to win only when they play the 49ers. But the Colts are going to cover, even though the 49ers are favored by 6. The Colts are going to have a really good game plan. The 49ers are going to have to play well. And everybody's going to get their money's worth on Monday night. So I'm predicting 24-21 49ers. And, of course, I know I'm not making a lot of Colts fans happy, but the Colts will probably win their next two games after this one. I would hope so, because I want to see the Colts get into the playoffs, because it'll be better ratings for you.
All right, can you hear me now?
A little bit.
All right. So you've been a 49er fan since
1981.
Because that's when they won their first Super Bowl.
Well, Joe Montana.
You're a front runner.
No, Joe Montana played with my favorite.
You're a front runner.
No, John, I've been a bandwagon. They were 2-14, 3-14, and see, one of the 49ers wide receivers is going to be out. Paracels probably not going to play. So we're going to hope McCaffrey can carry us, Christian McCaffrey. But it's going to be a good ball game. It's going to be a good ball game.
Hey, I'm darn. If you're watching me via YouTube
John,
Live,
I see what you're doing.
I'm Darnell right
81.
now. I'm running up front.
A Colts fan since 81, John.
Exactly.
I appreciate
Pontiac
you.
Silverdome.
I love you. I appreciate you having me on. I can't wait till the JMV takeover comes back on because that's a staple.
I got to learn how to run new equipment for that too. I have no idea.
And let's get that media going at Hinkle, because remember, I used to D you up.
Well, I told Grant Linedecker
Dudley
yesterday
Bradley.
that we're ready to fire
remember
that
me,
up.
Dudley Bradley.
I know.
But thanks, John, for having me. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. 49ers, the Colts will cover, but the 49ers will win by 3.
That's
Thank you,
Darnell
John.
from Broad Ripple.
Thank you, John.
Noted front runner of the show right there joining us. Happy holidays to you too, buddy. It's good to see you here. All right, quick break. We'll come back. The voice of the Hoosiers, Don Fischer, is going to join us on the other side. Hey, you can tell me this. Explain to me this. 317-239-1070. This is not just all on Darnell here, but who is the most noted front runner in your life in sports? Just out of curiosity. 317-239-1070. That is the text line, Whiskey Business, Bud Light Blue Friday. Man, you guys have been awesome for me. Thank you for joining us. Happy holidays. Darnell is still talking. I think he wants a picture taken. You want me to squeeze in here coming up next? Your calls and more at 239-1070. The stream, the app, HD Radio, the AAA Membership Lounge via YouTube Live. Darnell, you good to go? 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan. Back with Don next.
Hi, I'm Lexi, your friend and jeweler at Shane Company. If you're planning to propose this holiday, we're ready to make creating your engagement ring a warm, welcoming experience. At Shane Company, we're all about your style, your budget, your dream engagement ring. Explore the widest selection of diamonds and ring settings ready for you to see in person, or visit us at shaneco.com. You'll have your ring in days, not weeks. Our friendly jewelry consultants don't work on commission. There's never any pressure, just perfect proposals. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
Down here for the District Tap. Got 2 locations. North side, that's Clearwater Crossing. Hey, live music. The Jay Baker Trio, they consistently play at the District Tap locations. That is a good crew right there. I don't know if they're playing this weekend, though. I'm just going to give you a heads up. Live music, District Tap, 2 locations, North Side, Clearwater Crossing, and in downtown Indy. You know this to be true. I'll give you a great example. Tomorrow you go double dipping with the Indy Classic, the District Tap before, little pregame, little postgame afterwards. Thank me later for it. Damn good food. And you've got TVs everywhere. So with all that is going on, you're not going to miss a second of anything, too. Everybody will be happy. Plus, District Tap on the north side. Ask about the event space, the party event space, especially as we get closer and closer to New Year's. Ask about that, the live music, and more online, thedistricttap.com today.
Food insecurity is an urgent problem, one that impacts real Hoosiers. You can help today. Gleaners needs donations. Your contribution goes further with Gleaners. For every $10 you give, Gleaners leverages their resources to turn your $10 into $90 worth of groceries for families who desperately need help right now. Your gift benefits local community members, and every dollar counts. Gleaners also needs volunteers now to help with warehouse distribution. Go to gleaners.org and donate or get involved today.
Marcus Morris here with Family Heating and Air. As we're reaching colder weather, you may find yourself in need of furnace service. At Family, we specialize in solutions to extend your furnace life. Call the Fix-It team from Family. You can easily reach us at familyhvac.net. From our family to yours, have a happy holiday.
Family Heating and Air is your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
You'll get more than you expect with McValue at McDonald's. Like deals on your late night go-tos when the party goes till dawn. And savings on their faves. So date night always passes the vibe check. Plus, when the fam shows up for the weekend, you can show out for breakfast.
Enjoy a $3 sausage McMuffin with egg or egg McMuffin and pair it with a $1.49 any size Coke. Price of participation may vary, cannot be combined with any other offer.
When the new year hits, every business could use a little something to stay ahead. A lift, a jump start, an edge, or perhaps a boost. like the all-new 5-year business boost from Comcast Business. It's the certainty of a price lock for 5 years on qualifying internet bundles. Plus, you'll have the most reliable Wi-Fi with our best equipment, so your whole team can stay connected at a great rate. And to sweeten the deal, ask about a $500 prepaid card when you add 2 lines of mobile. It's the boost your business deserves. So sign up for the 5-year business boost and get a 5-year price lock on ultra-reliable Wi-Fi. Plus, ask about a $500 prepaid card. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Ends 2/22/26, new customers only. 1-year contract required for guaranteed rate. 5-year pricing applies to monthly service charge excluding taxes and fees. Best Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA. Fixed Broadband Experience Report, May 2025.
Hey, JMV, thinning hair this year. Grow your hair back like I did. Call 317-522-2995 or visit WeGrowHairIndy.com today.
Treat yourself with a new watch from Moyer Fine Jewelers in Carmel. They have over 20 watch brands, including Omega, Breitling, Hublot, and the Midwest best selection of pre-owned watches. Tell them JMV sent you.
From the DriveHubler.com studios, this is 93.5 and 107.5, The Fan.
WIBC HD2, HD3, Indianapolis. Celebrate Christmas with an NBA doubleheader. The coverage begins at 11:30 on 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
The Ride with JMV.
Remember, mum is the word.
Certainly, but
Mum.
93.5 and 107.5, The Fan.
Kurt Gerald's back at the studio. My name is John. I am damn glad you're a part of this show on this Friday, too. Happy holidays to you. Who's got their shopping done? You know how bummed I am? So my kid just said, hey, I'm going to do all my shopping online. And I know that this was a part of the social experience, too. And believe me, while I was incredibly social, I got turned down all the time, nearly every time. But I always thought the whole mall experience was about the social experience aspect of it more than it was going out and just kind of shopping. But Blake just told me, he goes, hey, I'm going to do all my shopping online, which means he's still yet to do it online. I will say this, I have done some online this year, and I'm almost embarrassed by the fact that I did it, because I have been and always will be a mall guy in a very dwindling mall atmosphere, which is unfortunate for me. Meantime, Whiskey Business, Bud Light Blue Friday. Thank you for joining us. I mentioned Kurt's back at the studio. Dev's the outside engineer. Both Chris and Ethan are here running the football toss with Bud Light. Monday Night Football tickets we are giving away. The great food of Whiskey Business. Thank you for joining us. Meantime, in the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline, he is the voice of the Hoosiers. Got a gig to do with the basketball squad tomorrow, but going to be much like all of us out there awaiting the winner for the Rose Bowl for the IU football program and the 1 seed. Tonight we'll be watching Alabama and Oklahoma in Norman, Oklahoma, the college football playoff kickoff. And voice of the Hoosiers, Don Fischer, joining us. So you and I tonight, along with Susie, at our table watching this game, I guess, right, to see what happens?
Well, I'm going to watch it a little bit there, John. You better get there early, because I'm not going to stay the whole night, because I'm going to pay attention, especially in the second half.
Well, I'm going to be hustling. I'm coming from the northeast side. I'm going to have the pedal to the metal, because you guys got to watch me drink a little bit of beer tonight. So we know that.
Just don't get a ticket.
I will not get a ticket. I promise you that. But no, I figured I kind of planned for it. I told Blake, I said, hey, I bet you Don will text me and he's going to our table tonight. I kind of guessed, considering the circumstances and the scheduling, that you would have availability to do that tonight.
Yeah, it's about the last chance we're going to have here in the old year, if you know what I mean, because we've got a lot of things going on here as we get ready for the new year, and we'll be taking off a little early with the football team out to Pasadena. So I think we leave on the 29th in that regard. So all I can tell you is, John, it's an exciting time of year for Indiana. There's no question about that, especially if you're a Hoosier fan. And I think most people these days, from a football perspective, certainly are.
Okay, Don Fischer, voice of the Hoosiers, joins us. We'll get to basketball in just a second, but I mentioned Alabama, Oklahoma coming up later on tonight. There are a lot of amazing aspects of Curt Cignetti and his team and what's going on with that program right now. I think maybe at the top of the list, and I want you to talk a little bit about that right now, is the assistant coach retention, which is among the more important aspects of maintaining a high level of play right now within a program. That has been yet another amazing aspect of what Curt Cignetti has accomplished in now his second season in Bloomington.
Well, it really has. There's no question. Mike Shanahan's the latest to re-up at Indiana under Coach Cignetti and gets a big a huge amount of money out of it. But why not? These guys have been with him for several years now. Both he and Brian Haynes, Shanahan we're speaking of, as the offensive coordinator, and Haynes is the defensive coordinator. These guys have been with him for many years now, and they know exactly who they're playing for, coaching with, and what their players are all about, and how Cignetti goes about his business. And they like it. If they didn't love it, they wouldn't be at Indiana right now. They wouldn't be with Curt Cignetti right now if they didn't think he was absolutely the right guy. So that tells you a lot about when you can keep assistant coaches that are as valuable as these two guys are and keep them for as long as he has, which is well into the JMU scenario, and then, of course, here in Indiana. I mean, these guys revere him as a head football coach, and they're learning from him as a head football coach. And they're still young enough. They're going to be head coaches themselves at some point down the road. But at this juncture, I think both these guys believe that they're in the right place at the right time. And without doubt, I think both of them are. Of course, they're making more money than they ever have in their lives.
Yeah, which is awesome, and a part of it too. And, you know, when you're making that much money right now and you're still comfortable in what you're doing, and, Don, you're having success in what you're doing, certainly why not? But it is just amazing how all these things are falling into place in the past 2 years now for a program where rarely anything ever fell in place. It is an amazing aspect of it.
You're right, John. I mean, most people don't realize where Indiana football has been, at least those from outside the state of Indiana and that are not Hoosier fans, so to speak. And what has happened here has just been absolutely transformational under Curt Cignetti. This guy is brilliant. There's no doubt about that. In 2 years' time, John, he has done more things with this program than anybody in the last 40 years or 50 years. You could say that. It's just remarkable. And honestly, I'm just proud to be a part of it, and being a part of it in the sense that I'm only the broadcast guy, but at the same time, I've seen all of the negatives over the years that I've been here and how things have been done in Indiana and how they have changed dramatically in just 2 years, 2 short years here, because both of these years have gone by faster than either of those years I would want them to go that fast, because this is too much fun to be a part of. You know what I mean?
I do. And listen, the first time in the history of my life, because of you and this football program, I was compelled to watch 60 Minutes on Sunday, Don. How about that?
Well, I was compelled, John, I was compelled to do it.
I thought, man, I thought you may, take it up. You already have to hang around in basketball games with one former Bloomington North Cougar. I didn't know that you had enough in you to do it again with Wertheim, because he's also a former Bloomington North Cougar. Wow.
That is true. That is true. And a nice guy and a really nice man.
Yes, yeah.
I will tell you this, John. My interview with him was 2 hours long. But more than anything else, it was just a discussion. It was just having a good conversation with him, because that's how he made you feel in doing it. And I knew that 99.5% of it was going to be on the cutting room floor, so I wasn't really too worried about what I was saying at the time I was saying it. And they treated me quite well, because I didn't say anything that I think was out of line, so to speak.
The only thing that amazed me, no, I didn't think you. I thought you were awesome, and I thought it was a great piece on 60 Minutes, which, again, another layer of incredible that we tend to talk about all the time with this football program. But I think the other thing that was incredible is how did they get Mellencamp not to smoke a cigarette over the course of his time talking to Wertheim right there?
Well, I think he was smoking a cigarette.
Was he smoking a cigarette there? I didn't notice. Was he smoking? I just noticed that normally he is smoking a cigarette, and I saw HUD sitting next to him in his box. I know he does that up there at the stadium, but I didn't know if he was smoking across from Wertheim or not, which normally he does. I will say this, Don, he was on target because the way that he described IU football was exactly the way IU football has been in decades of experience there.
There's no doubt about it. There's no doubt about it. He didn't leave anything unsaid in that context. He put it very succinctly, as did I. So I think we were both taking care of it.
It was good. Was that your first time ever on 60 Minutes? Were you ever on there with the Bob Knight story at all?
No.
What?
Back in the why would I ever be on there on the Bob Knight part of it? Because
I think that they did one on him though, did they? Didn't Mike Wallace do a story on Knight once upon a time? Back in the day, I think he did on 60 Minutes.
I do think that was part of it then, but I was not part of that, and I was really happy that I wasn't.
Because there's probably nothing you're going to say that was going to be right in a situation like that. Then I would guess, right?
Yeah. Well, you got to know. You got to know that you're pretty smart if you didn't go on that show and talk about Coach Knight, especially when he was still the coach.
Yeah, there's no doubt whatsoever. No, I thought it was really cool to see that, and I thought that John Wertheim did a hell of a job in explaining what it was and where it is now, and really all that has entailed to make this. I was talking to Bob Lovell a little bit earlier, Don. It's interesting. I'm kind of caught in the middle because you love how NIL and the transfer portal has had this incredibly profound positive effect on the IU football program now that they're firmly invested into it. But then you see other aspects of it, because I brought this up to Bob. It seems like on the high school level, I mean, now during the season, like kids and boys and girls are jumping all over the place in high school basketball to transfer, and you kind of see the trickle-down effect that's going on, and there are a lot of aspects we don't like, but with the football program, it has been amazing the effect to the positive it has had.
Well, at Indiana, there is no doubt about that, John. I've railed against NIL from the very beginning. I didn't like it. I didn't like the idea of it. I understand that players should be paid something, but I knew that this was going to get out of hand, which it has. That's the sad part of it. And obviously there's nobody right now to rein it in, and I don't know how it's ever going to be reined in, although it may at some point. Who knows? The government could get involved, which is really a scary thing. But at the same time, when you think about how things have changed here from Indiana's perspective, and you have to embrace it. You have to embrace the changes, and the fact that Curt Cignetti was smart enough to take advantage of that and to do what he's done with the backing of both Pam Whitten, the president, and Scott Dolson, the athletic director, with making the upgrades that they have made, the turnaround and the thinking process of how to get things done. All of that has come into play here. And then if you talk about being the CEO of your team as well as the coach of your team, I don't know how you could say anything but positive things about Curt Cignetti, because what he's done with that roster, how he's changed the whole atmosphere of Indiana football, it's just a remarkable transition, and without question, it's been as well, I guess, as successful as you could ever be at anything that you might do. This guy has been phenomenal.
Yeah, it is. It really is a coaching. It's a coaching plus of a lifetime. I can't remember anything that has been any bigger and any better considering where a team was and how they were thought about to where they are right now than that. I mean, really is. It's the coaching job of a lifetime right now with him in mind.
Yeah. I don't know that you could ever say that anybody else has done anything like this. Have you ever heard about it? We've never heard about it. Yeah, there have been Cinderella stories in basketball and things like that, and there have been a few in football, but nothing to this degree. Nobody's had this kind of turnaround in a 2-year period of time. You're possibly going to be playing for a national championship. I say possibly because it hadn't happened. But a team that has never been a major fixture in college football, other than the fact that they belong to the Big Ten and have played in the Big Ten all these years. They've had one season in which they didn't tie for a Big Ten championship, and they've had one season in which they tied for a Big Ten championship. And other than that, this is it. Number 3 was just a week and a half ago or 2 weeks ago. So. It's just a phenomenal transition. Without question, it's the most remarkable thing I've ever seen, and I think for most people, it's the same for those folks because I don't think it's ever been done before.
Yeah, and we're going to be sitting there tonight, and IU football is going to be awaiting the winner of Oklahoma and Alabama. I mean, my goodness, that's about as drunk as I've ever been sounding right there.
Yeah, I mean that's the other thing too. I mean, it's changed the entire it's changed the entire atmosphere in Indiana and maybe around college football because look at what's happened with coaching and the changes that have been made this year already. Due to the fact for a lot of people, due to the fact that Curt Cignetti has proven it can be done at a school that nobody believed it could be done. So. And a lot of people are saying, well, this is just, if you only got 7 wins this year, I don't think you're quite what we need. We need to find a new guy.
Exactly. I was just going to bring that up. I mean, everybody, no matter what you do, even if it's incredible, you're still going to fail in comparison with that. I mean, look what everybody else, all these figureheads are looking for something that logically, Don, they are never going to find in terms of what IU has in Cignetti.
I know. That's the whole point. I mean, it's just I don't know the correct terminology that I should use in that context because it's kind of unreal and it's definitely surreal.
Yeah, it is. Hey, I saw where they're going to redo some things at the stadium coming up here. They're getting that started. Is that true? I don't know what that entails. Do you?
Well, I know they've sent out a flyer, or not a flyer, kind of a questionnaire to the alumni, to the fans of Indiana football, or just of Indiana. Anybody that's an IU fan of any kind, they've sent out a questionnaire about what needs to be done to make the atmosphere at the Rock Memorial Stadium even better than it is now, and what kind of upgrades need to be taken care of. So if you're asking your alumni to come in and say, this is what we'd like to see happen, they're definitely looking into what kind of possible reconstruction or construction of things that they can do down there to make the Rock even better than it is right now. And they've done a lot of upgrades here since 2003 or 2004.
Yeah, I mean, it sure as hell looks a lot different than having like a chain link fence around it back in 1987.
That's right.
I mean,
you got that right, big boy.
It is incredible stuff. All right, Chicago State tomorrow in hoops. Don Fischer, voice of the Hoosiers, on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. I don't know, other than sustaining and just getting better is what you look at right there. In terms of this basketball team, what you know right now, some of the thoughts and some of the interest you have as they move forward. Chicago State and Siena, I think, before you restart the Big Ten campaign for real. What have you seen so far good, and what have you seen so far that obviously needs a great deal of work with this team?
Well, the one thing that I think we've seen is that Indiana still doesn't have they have a rebounding presence, and these guys are working hard to be rebounders, but it's a tough task when you're undersized and maybe out-physicaled in some cases. And in that regard, Kentucky kind of gave Indiana a bit of a litmus test in that regard, and it wasn't quite the outcome that the IU Hoosiers fans hoped. But I think that the thing about this team is they still haven't been together that long yet, and you don't want to use that as an excuse because they got beat by Kentucky. But the thing that Kentucky brought to the table was two players that hadn't played very much this year because of injuries, and those two guys showed up big time in the second half of that game at Rupp Arena this past week, and without question, they were the difference in Indiana falling in that contest. And I thought Indiana played very well with the exception of getting in too much foul trouble in the first half. Then in the second half, Indiana just didn't play as well, and the turnovers were what was so, Indiana had not had big games where they turned the ball over this year. They've really taken care of the basketball well. And in this particular game, they had 12 second-half turnovers and 18 for the game. And what's the other thing that they've done really well this year? Share the basketball. And they only had 8 assists in the game. So that tells you that they were pretty much being guarded as tough as anybody could guard them at this juncture. And Indiana didn't respond as well as perhaps the coaching staff would have liked. But I will say this. They don't stop fighting. They continue to fight no matter what the situation is. They are a little bit undersized, and they probably don't have the pure raw talent that some of these teams have, but they've got a bunch of guys that will fight you. And we said that at the very beginning, that's the one thing they showed when they were in their trip in Puerto Rico and in the early part of the season here. The one thing at this juncture, they're going to have some problems this year with the size factor, especially in the Big Ten, where there are a lot of really good basketball teams with good size.
That's something we're going to talk about here in the not-so-distant future. But, man, the Big Ten, hey, you got some teams. Like, you think about what Dusty has in Michigan, at least so far. And obviously, all these are subject to change. But between what is it, Purdue, what Dusty has in Michigan, I mean, you start right there. Just a laundry list of really top-level talent throughout that league that they're going to start coming up in the next 2 games.
That's exactly right. And Washington will be a team that Indiana faces the first out of the boat as far as January is concerned. That's a team that Indiana should be able to compete with very, very well. I think they'll win that ball game, but they're going to be challenged a lot through this Big Ten season, and it'll be interesting to see how they respond to it. Because what I watched when I was in San Juan with the team, and I keep bringing this up because they played so well down there. They just never gave up on anything, and they just kept fighting in every ball game. And I have not seen any stop in that kind of thinking from these players at this point. I don't think we will, because I think Darren DeVries will not allow that to happen. I think the biggest question mark right now, John, is can they take care of the basketball better than they did against top-flight competition? Because obviously against Kentucky, they didn't do a good job of that. And I think that's going to change, and that's a lot of what they've been working on this past week. That and the rebounding aspect of it are those are 2 key areas. If you can hang with other teams rebounding-wise in the Big Ten and not turn the ball over, you give yourself a chance in every ball game. And I think that's what Darren is hoping for.
Yeah, one of the things that stands out to me from I've seen Michigan, Purdue, Nebraska, they've had a great start with Fred Hoiberg of the season. Obviously Michigan State. The thing I see with them that IU has not found, Illinois is another one too, is depth. That's what concerns me. And you're right about all what you just said. But IU just does not have close to the depth from those aforementioned teams that we were talking about right there. And I think as a long season against tough competition goes like that, that becomes more and more problematic, Don.
Well, I can tell you this. When Sam Alexis went down early in the ball game against Kentucky, everybody they basically were holding their breath because he is the one guy that's a true post and plays like a post player inside. He's undersized at 6'8", terrific athlete, but still undersized. And the good news is he came back after he went down. Looked like he was going off and maybe for the count, so to speak. And he came back in that ball game. But I will say this. Sam is a gutsy kid, and he's a tough kid. If he's available to play this next ball game, I think he will play. I don't think the injury was as serious as it could have been. But honestly, there's no doubt that he is a critical piece for this ball club, along with Reed Bailey in the post, because they're the only two real bigs they have outside of Josh Harris. And Harris hasn't played or practiced now in several months because of an injury that he had to have. I believe he had surgery on his foot, but I'm not 100% sure that I think that is the case. And I don't know when he's going to be available to play. And I would bet it's probably not going to be until probably somewhere in mid-January or so. So he is the only other guy that you could consider a big in this ball club. I think he's 6'7.5" or 6'8", whatever. But and he played well when he was in Puerto Rico, but he's still a young guy. He's still just a sophomore.
All right, so if I ask you right now, would you rather see Alabama or Oklahoma? You probably won't tell me. Will you tell me privately at our table later on tonight if I ask you again?
To be quite honest, I don't care who we play because Kurt Cignetti's our coach, and he's made me start thinking like he's a Bob Knight guy, because Bob Knight, I never thought Indiana, I never really felt going into a ball game. There might have been a year or two, maybe 1977 would have been one of them. But there weren't very many years when Bob Knight was the head basketball coach at IU that I thought Indiana going into a ball game was going to lose. I always thought they had a great chance to win every game that they played, and I'm not changing my tune on that. And without question, I think Kurt Cignetti's the same kind of coach.
Well, you just made me think of something. Was it LSU when he said, they were really talented, but then I saw who the coach was on the other sideline, and I thought we had a chance.
I don't even think he said I thought we had a chance, but I wasn't worried. It had something to do with that. I don't think he even said I can't remember his exact terminology, but you're right. I mean, he basically said, we're going to win.
Oh, my God. Can you imagine if Chef – I think about that with Dale Brown or that with Lou Henson. Brown. Can you imagine if stuff like that is said today? It's incredible.
Oh, I know. That's just what we're talking about, man. Big boy.
I know it. All right. So you and Susie going to be 6:30. Is that what you're saying? I'm going to have to hump it to get down there on time.
You're going to have to hump, big boy. You're going to have to hump.
They got halibut on the menu tonight for us. Do we know?
I don't know.
What Joe and Ginger have
before I go, because I know they're going to have good food no matter what. And you see, I know that you have a problem with that, but I don't. I'll eat whatever they have.
I know you don't. I like watching you guys. I like watching you guys eat as much as you guys like watching me drink beers.
They were both in trouble.
We are. All right, I'm going to get down there. I'm on the northeast side, but I'll get down there as soon as I can. I'll see you guys in just a little bit, buddy.
Sounds good.
It's voice of the Hoosiers, Don Fischer, of the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. Thank you, Rabby. Jeff Rabjohns had mentioned that was Dale Brown. That's right. I don't know why that occurred to me, Rabby, just now and when Don was talking about that. Yeah, I know they're very talented. He was talking about LSU. I know they're very talented, but then I looked over on the sideline who was coaching them. That was so good. I always thought it was, and then I knew we had a chance, but I think he was probably more of, I knew we were going to win, something like that. Just great stuff. Thank you, Ravi. Appreciate that. We're live at Whiskey Business. I'm sorry. I felt compelled to laugh about that just for a second, too. That was awesome. Voice of the Hoosiers, Don Fischer, on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. IU football fans will get a little bit of clarity tonight with the winner of Alabama and Oklahoma in Norman later on tonight at 8 o'clock, advancing to the Rose Bowl to take on the 1-seed Indiana Hoosiers of the football program. I am kind of curious, as IU football fans, and Don had mentioned, so they put out a, I guess, a communication with IU football fans and alumni saying, hey, what would you guys like to see as an improvement at that stadium? What would you like to see, IU football fans, as an improvement? What would better suit you? And I'm sure parking and the easier ways in and easier ways out would be at the top of that list. I don't know if any of those things are ever going to be the case. It's kind of interesting from Don Fischer, voice of the Hoosiers, right there on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. Quick shout out to Jason Hatfield, who says, much like my man D sitting next to me, I'm a Niners fan too. My dad took me to a Notre Dame game when Montana was the quarterback, and that's why. Front runners. Front runners. Quick break, we'll come back. If you guys are on hold, I'll get to you coming up on the other side too. Hey, shout out too, for those out there listening, our guy, Jim McCann, is feeling incredibly better. You guys know this. If you're a part of this show or you listen to the JMV Takeover, Jim McCann in Southern California is one of our really good friends. We love Jim McCann, and he has been going through a health episode, but it appears now that he is on the other side of that health episode and feeling really good. And I know he's listening right now, so let's help lift our good friend Jim McCann in Southern California up a little bit with that positivity, because he is feeling better, and it's great to hear from him. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas to Jim and his family. I know Mike is here locally still, but obviously Jim and his wife out in Southern California right now. We love Jim a great deal and always think about Jim and cannot wait until he makes it back to Central Indiana and can hang out in an atmosphere just like this during a live show like we're doing right now at Whiskey Business. On a Bud Light Blue Friday, we'll come back at 239-1070, 317-239-1070. That is the text line. If you guys want to jump in on that, you absolutely can. You guys are already sending some love to Jim McCann through the text line. That is awesome. The stream, the app, HD Radio, AAA Membership Lounge via YouTube Live. We're back with you and live at Whiskey Business on Pendleton Pike on a Bud Light Blue Friday. It's next, 93.5, 107.5 The Fan.
This is the Colts Preview on 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan. Here's the voice of the Colts, Matt Taylor.
Welcome, everybody, to the Colts Preview inside the Indiana Union Construction Industry Radio Studio. The Colts practice again today, gearing up for Monday Night Football against the Niners. The Colts have lost 4 straight. The 49ers, meanwhile, are on a 4-game heater, bumping their record up to 10-4 coming into this game. And the Colts will be looking for more offensive output on Monday night compared to what they got last week in Seattle. Against the Seahawks, the Colts racked up just a hair over 200 yards, 16 points, and only 1 touchdown. The Colts offense has definitely hit a lull lately. Since opening the season by scoring 20 or more points in 11 straight games, the Colts have not scored more than 19 in its last 3 contests. Meanwhile, the 49ers offense is clicking coming into Week 16. They've scored 31 points per game in their last 4. And Brock Purdy is back in the lineup after a turf toe injury earlier this season. His top weapons are running back Christian McCaffrey and tight end George Kittle. Kittle ranks second in the NFL in receiving yards among tight ends since he broke into the league in 2017. And Christian McCaffrey, he's one of the best all-around backs in the league. He ranks third this year in scrimmage yards. The Colts need a win desperately to help their playoff stock on Monday Night Football, and they can gain a marquee victory over a team from the NFC that looks to be destined for the postseason for the 5th time in the last 7 years. The Colts are going to be playing on Monday night for the first time since 2022, and Phillip Rivers will play in his first game at Lucas Oil Stadium in front of a sold-out crowd. With the Colts back in 2020, Rivers never played in front of more than 14,000 fans in Indy due to COVID capacity restrictions. Monday's game starts at 8:15. All the coverage begins at 5:30 with the Colts pregame huddle on Monday night. And that's it for the Colts preview today on 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
The Butler basketball season is rolling along. Don't miss your chance to get in on the action. Your next chance to get to Hinkle Fieldhouse to cheer on your Butler Bulldogs is Monday, December 22nd, when the Dogs take on NJIT at 2 p.m. A weekday matinee. Come see the sunlight shine through the windows at iconic Hinkle Fieldhouse. With most students home for break, there are some great, unique seating options, so buy your tickets now at butlersports.com/buy tickets. Be a part of Hinkle Magic and make Hinkle your second home this season.
Baseball great Lou Gehrig was known as the Iron Horse for playing 2,130 consecutive games. But it was his reaction to his greatest challenge, the fatal diagnosis of ALS, that made Gehrig a household name and a beacon of strength for all those facing the disease. The Live Like Lou Foundation honors Lou's legacy and inspires hope for a world where ALS is no longer fatal. Donate or volunteer today at livelikeLou.org.
Hey, John here for Big Red Liquors. Big Red Liquors, 100-plus locations throughout the state of Indiana. There is one near you, and here's the reason why. They've got a great deal for you. You guys ready for this? Who out there loves themselves a little Pappy? A little Pappy Van Winkle. All right, from now through Monday the 22nd, you can go in to each Big Red Liquors location once a day and sign up for an entry to win Pappy Van Winkle. We're talking Pappy 10-year, 12-year, and 15-year. And I've been a part of a lottery with Pappy Van Winkle before, and you guys go crazy over it. Seriously. This is like the nectar of the gods for you. Pappy Van Winkle. Oh, by the way, too, what a great gift-giving idea if you happen to secure that. Again, Pappy Van Winkle, 10-year, 12-year, and 15-year. And you can get signed up for this raffle. 100-plus locations of Big Red Liquors. There's one near you. And you can sign up now through Monday, once per person per store location. That's for the Pappy and Big Red Liquors, 100-plus locations, state of Indiana, your tailgating headquarters, your Christmas party headquarters, easily found online, bigredliquors.com.
This holiday season, remember, it's not only the thought that counts. 'Tis the season for gifting responsibly by only gifting Hoosier Lottery scratch-offs to adults 18+.
This Christmas, get a bonus AI Essentials course when you enroll in any My Computer Career IT program by the end of the year. That's a $3,900 value. Attend classes online or on campus. Enjoy lifetime job placement support and IT certifications in high demand. Go to mycomputercareer.edu today and take the free career evaluation. That's mycomputercareer.edu, an elite CompTIA certification partner. Conditions apply to AI offer and financial aid is available to those who qualify, including the GI Bill.
Hey, it's Tyrese Halliburton. I've met some incredible people right here in Indiana, all waiting for a life-saving organ transplant. Different backgrounds, different stories, but they all had one thing in common: hope. Saying yes to organ donation provides that hope. One organ donor can save up to 8 lives. That's 8 families who get more time together. You have the power to save lives. So next time you're at the BMV, or even right now at donatelifeindiana.org, say yes to organ donation.
Marcus Morris here with Family Heating and Air. As we're reaching colder weather, you may find yourself in need of furnace service. At Family, we specialize in solutions to extend your furnace life. Call the Fix-It team from Family. You can easily reach us at familyhvac.net. From our family to yours, have a happy holiday.
Family Heating and Air is your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
It's JMV for BullseyeEventGroup.com, the Colts VIP tailgate presented by Hayes & Sons Restoration. All you can eat, all you can drink. Before each Colts home game, make your game day experience the best it can be. Entertained inside the Bullseye Event Center, and the great food from celebrity chef Kelsey Murphy. That and more, and combo up your passes with tickets to the game. That's the BullseyeEventGroup.com Colts VIP tailgate presented by Hayes & Sons Restoration. Get your passes now. BullseyeEventGroup.com.
The Fan cares, and if you or someone you care about needs food assistance, we have resources for you, including food distribution locations with an interactive map. Also, learn how you can make a difference for friends and neighbors in need, all at 1075thefan.com.
The Ride with JMV.
Talk about your Psalms, talk about John 3:16. Austin 3:16 says, I just whipped your ass.
93.5 and 107.5. The Fan.
Look, Kurt's all over Daryl Hall and John Oates today, man. Kurt Gell's back in the studio in for James. I saw James last night at Clayton's Country Bar after I was at Tommy S.'s place at Coach's Tavern. I stopped in Clayton's to see the awesome Harley D and Nicole, and James was there. I think Tony D showed up a little bit later on. I don't know. Was it Annie's something or other? Some country band name, cover band named Annie's? 2 chicks and a dude. But they're pretty good. They played Friends in Low Places as a cover. I forget what, Annie's Indy or something like that, but they're pretty good. Hey, we're on the northeast side. In fact, we're up in Lawrence today, nearing McCordsville on Pendleton Pike. We're a whiskey business, which has great food, ice-cold Bud Light. Our friend from Zinc, always on these Blue Fridays, you got to give a shout-out to them because they are awesome, absolutely awesome. Now, I'm assuming I'll have to ask them here that we do have a Friday show on the 26th next week. I know, obviously, we're off Wednesday and Thursday of next week, which will be Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, but we should be good to go after that. And then we got a number of live events coming up in the new year as well. A lot of new locations from what I've heard. So, yeah, if you want to get on the list, you got to do so, too. I'd love to be out at your place one of these days, too, because live events are the absolute best, just like this one, too, with our friends from Bud Light on a Blue Friday at Whiskey Business, and still time for you to join us. Maybe win yourself some tickets to Monday Night Football coming up on Monday. Meantime, Don Fischer, voice of the Hoosiers, that podcast at 1075thefan.com. Joel A. Erickson of the Star a little bit earlier. SPT is in here. That is Sean Patrick Turley, as you might know him. Sean Collinsworth is in the house, and a shout-out to Damar. That means Damar is in here, too, which we always love. No Dave Smiley. Evidently no second-best DJ in the state of Indiana, Dave Smiley, at our Whiskey Business location here on this Friday, which is incredibly unfortunate. Meantime, 239-1070 is that number. I know Todd was just here. Todd has decided to dial up and phone after he's left. Hello, Todd.
Yeah, I told my wife I was going to the store to buy a lottery ticket. I can't make that last 3 hours, so.
No, you can too. Well, yeah, that's the way you got to tell a fib or two. You know what? Just a little white lie, stretch the truth just a little bit, Todd.
Flat tire. Hey,
well done. What do you got, brothers?
So I don't know what the conversation is. It's kind of hard to sometimes tell, but I don't know if they ever prefer Alabama versus Oklahoma. I don't know what the consensus is on that, but I'm telling you, yeah. I watched both these teams play. They don't score points. Even when they played each other, they didn't score points. I think I would actually fear Mateer probably more than Simpson.
Agreed.
And in my eyes, in terms of potential, but I think some people said, "Oh, IU got a rotten draw." I think this is a great draw, in my opinion. I think they can clear. If you can score 22 points, you can beat both these teams. I just wanted to give your feedback.
No. Hey, listen, I completely agree with you on that, too. And I think that what we saw in that Big Ten title game, and what we saw over the course of the season, but it was certainly in a microcosm in that Big Ten title game against Ohio State, is a stingy defense. Now, we're still kind of wondering what it's going to be like without Stephen Daly up front. That's certainly with that injury problematic. But this defense, when you're talking about two teams that have been struggling to score points, certainly against one another, as we're talking about later on tonight. I love those types of matchups against IU because defensively they just have been superior and consistently superior all season long.
Yeah, so we'll see how it goes. I mean, it's going to be fun to watch tonight and kind of have an idea what you want to do. But I've watched both these teams play 4 or 5 times, 6 times, whatever, over the course of the year. Alabama was lucky to beat Auburn, and Auburn's not good. They fired their coach, right? So I mean, it's, right. I think IU has a good draw here. I think they've. So my son who works down there couldn't afford Rose Bowl tickets because they're stupid and outrageous in Los Angeles. Bought Peach Bowl tickets, and I think it's a good move. I think he'll be there. So.
Todd, it was great to see you out here. Thanks for stopping by.
Thanks, my friend.
Have a great Christmas with Todd. I believe, is Derek at 239-1070 right now? D, are you on the road?
Yes. Yeah, John. Thanks for taking my call.
So are you going to Oxford, Mississippi? Are you on your way right now?
No, sir.
Oh, I'm sorry. This is a different Derek. Derek White
Yes.
just actually sent me a message. He's going to see Tulane and Ole Miss in Oxford tomorrow. This is a different Derek altogether. My bad, Derek. Go ahead.
That's all right. I was just calling in regards to the stadium upgrades. I was down there a couple weeks back at the Wisconsin game, and just in general, if they're going to keep winning like this and having full crowds, which I've never seen in all the 15, 20 years I've been going to games,
right.
You just can't fit that many people around there in the concourses, getting to bathrooms, getting to concession stands. You know, it's already pretty bad in just about any stadium, but that was one of the worst I'd seen, and there's just not much anybody about it currently.
Yeah, I kind of wonder what they're going to come up with. Yeah, I think initially, like on the surface, I always think about, parking and, easier ways in and easier ways out. And I don't know, certainly with that, I don't know what you're going to be able to do. But you're probably right. Upgrading the facilities bathroom-wise and, adding more seating, I were to guess. But it is going to be interesting to think where the alumni go with this little bit of Q&A regarding the football program and the stadium and the facility itself.
Yeah, I agree. I can't wait to see what they come up with, though.
Derek, you have a great weekend and a Merry Christmas if I don't talk to you next week, okay?
All right. Thank you. You too, John. Go Hoosiers.
You got it. Derek White is the one. Actually, he sent me this via X. I'm listening live. I'm catching a flight in a bit to take my son to the Ole Miss Tulane game. So, yeah, he is going to see Tulane and Ole Miss coming up tomorrow. That's a 3:30 start. Vaught Hemingway Stadium down in Oxford, Mississippi. I'm assuming to get to Oxford, Mississippi, there's not the easiest of paths to find. Miami, Texas A&M, and the college football playoff. That is also coming up tomorrow. In case you were wondering, James Madison, the 12 seed, and the 5 seed Oregon from Autzen Stadium in Eugene. That's tomorrow night at 7:30. TNT, HBO, Max, True TV for that one coming up. All a part of the college football playoff. Hey, later on tonight, you've got Alabama, Oklahoma from Norman. That is one IU fans will keep an eyeball on. Hey, top of the hour, we've got Colts Happy Hour for you. The latest on some injury concerns and great breakdowns across the board. Rick Venturi, Bill Brooks, and more a part of that. Jalen Travis also with a conversation with Matt Taylor. I thought Jalen Travis, the rookie at right tackle, played a high level of football against Seattle on that right side in for Braden Smith, and probably is, right, the future at that position longer term for the Colts. He's also going to have a spot in that show coming up here after 6 o'clock. Whiskey Business, Bud Light Blue Friday. We'll come back with your calls and more for a final time. Don't go anywhere. The stream, the app, HD Radio, and the AAA Membership Lounge via YouTube Live. You guys have been fantastic. Thank you for listening. It's 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
You'll get more than you expect with McValue at McDonald's. Like deals on your late night go-tos when the party goes till dawn. And savings on their faves. So date night always passes the vibe check. Plus, when the fam shows up for the weekend, you can show out for breakfast.
Enjoy a $3 sausage McMuffin with egg or egg McMuffin and pair it with a $1.49 any size Coke. Price and participation may vary, cannot be combined with any other offer.
Hey, John here for the options you're looking for. In your real hair growth, that's WeGrowHairIndy.com. 317-522-2995. So if you're feeling it, do something about it. If you want options, I've always said this, options in life are the absolute best. But you got to be motivated and do something about it. And here's the number. Darren Andrews is your contact. Tell him that I sent you if you want your real growing hair. If you've noticed the fading of your hairline, you can do something about it right now. Real growing hair again. 317-522-2995. $29.95. Tell Darren that I sent you. WeGrowHairIndy.com today.
This is James with Price Point Comfort Heating and Cooling. Out working during the holidays, I always love getting to customers' houses, they're baking, getting the free cookies or the cakes or things you're going to take home with you. Sometimes you're there helping somebody on Christmas Day, and it becomes a benefit. My wife's like, "Oh, you had to work today," and I don't tell her about the case of cookies I got in the truck that I got while I was at Mrs. Jones's house. So we're here if you need us. You're part of our family.
Price Point Comfort Heating and Cooling is your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
Yeah, I mentioned this with Big Red Liquors that powers the JMV takeover as we make our return, as long as I can work the equipment coming up on New Year's Eve, to start season number 6. But Big Red Liquors right now for a reason. Now through Monday, the 22nd, you can stop by any of their 100-plus locations throughout the state of Indiana and get involved in the Pappy Claus contest, which has come to town. It is a raffle. The last chance raffle for 2025 for one of your favorites, Pappy Van Winkle. 10-year, 12-year, and 15-year. So, ending Monday the 22nd. And all winning bottles will be delivered to stores before Christmas just for you. But you can get signed up at any Big Red Liquors location once per day, one location per day. It is that simple with Big Red Liquors Pappy Claus. That's Pappy Van Winkle. Your opportunity to win, signing up today through Monday at one of the 100 locations plus a Big Red Liquors throughout the state, and the one nearest you. Also know this, if you're tailgating Big Red Liquors, that final stop to make to any of your holiday parties, that stop, Big Red Liquors. 100 plus locations, one near you. To find it online, it's bigredliquors.com.
Hi, I'm Andy, your friend and jeweler at Shane Company. As a product development manager, I make sure every piece of fine jewelry at Shane Company is meticulously designed for quality. From 14-karat gold chains, pearl necklaces, diamond studs, and of course, dream engagement rings. We know you can get your holiday gifts anywhere these days, but knowing your loved one's gift was crafted by master jewelers? It's a difference everyone can see and feel, no matter the price. All of our fine jewelry begins with a vision by our in-house designers. Then, we ensure each piece meets our high-quality standards every step of the way, including the smallest details. It's why our jewelry comes with our all-inclusive, free lifetime warranty that covers everything and doesn't cost a dime. At Shane Company, there's no shortcuts, just craftsmanship. Because a friend wants your fine jewelry to be nothing short of perfect. Come see for yourself. Visit us in store or at shaneco.com. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, it's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch every day from lunch to late night? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Consider yourself a bourbon connoisseur? Twin Peaks is proud to offer an exclusive and extensive collection of some incredibly rare bourbons, whiskeys, and tequilas, plus barrel selects that are handpicked and bottled just for you. Supply is limited. Check with your favorite location to see what they're pouring. No matter where you're headed, it's nice to know Hubler's got you covered for 200,000 miles. Visit drivehubler.com or any of the 13 Hubler locations.
Hellsberg gifts checked off the list. Now, time for wrapping. Earrings for Mom. A gold bracelet to match the rings Danielle wears every day. And for Dad, a new watch, because we all know he needs one. All right, this is going to be a good one.
Our favorite things for your favorite people. Shop in store at hellsberg.com for up to 50% off.
The Fan cares, and if you or someone you care about needs food assistance, we have resources for you, including food distribution locations with an interactive map. Also, learn how you can make a difference for friends and neighbors in need, all at 1075thefan.com.
Jake Query here. Each weekday noon to 3, guests appear live on the Java House Peel and Pour guest line. Use code JAKE25 at javahouse.com to save 25% on your first order.
The Ride with JMV.
Hans, Bobby, I'm your white knight.
93.5 and 107.5. The Fan.
Oh, Whiskey Business is a great place. Let's just say, for example, you can't slide by here tonight. Make sure you make that appearance-wise on your schedule at some point with the great food, the ice-cold Bud Light, and my friends from Zinc. I got to wish happy holidays to everybody out there from Zinc. So I think the next time we're out, it may be the 3rd of January on a Friday, and that would be a Bud Light Blue Friday. The 3rd of January, I believe, will be at Ralston's Brew House from last I noticed. So I don't know. I think we're out next Friday. I know I'm back on Friday. Next week, Wednesday and Thursday, we'll be off. But next Friday, we should be good to go. But next up, Ralston's Brew House. And my friends from Zinc are awesome. Outstanding as always. Great to see everybody here. Dev, great job out of you. D, great to have you, my brother. Appreciate you right there. Kurt Gerald's back at the studio. Job well done for the past 2 days. Thank you, brother. More than you know. Ethan, thank you. Chris Hammer's over there somewhere, too. Thank you to Chris, too. James should be back with me coming up on Monday. I'm going to be at Bullseye to start the show Monday at 3. I'm going to see if I can get some of you guys some Bullseye passes on the fly on the show coming up on Monday as well. So sit tight for that. Again, Bama, Oklahoma later on tonight. Pacers on the road in New Orleans tomorrow. IU in action in Bloomington. Both the Boilers and Purdue, the Indy Classic downtown at Gainbridge Fieldhouse. But up next, we'll talk Colts and Niners on Colts Happy Hour. Have a great weekend with 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
Without an Advent clinic nearby, people suffering needlessly from chronic nasal congestion and sinus infections would be stuck with either Band-Aid or Sledgehammer solutions. Band-Aids are pills or nasal sprays, and they're not true solutions. Surgery is a sledgehammer, and that's what we're trying to avoid. Because most people don't need surgery for nose and sinus issues, nor do they want a 14-day recovery. Our unique Advent approach can, in 20 minutes in our office, open your blocked nose for good, with only 1 day recovery. I'm Advent founder Dr. Kandula. Outside of Advent's 4 walls, invasive surgery is what they'll recommend. But here you will find effective and convenient in-office solutions to help you stop the need for Band-Aids and avoid the sledgehammer.
Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better. Most insurance accepted.
Welcome to Wawa.